Hey, Mike.
Hey, Oliver.
Hey, hey,
Sorry, I was drinking some water.
unbelievable. Started again.
Ah, you caught me. You caught me. Well, it's like a 1 in 10,000 chance.
You
And you
never
caught
drink
it. You're
water.
so lucky. You're
This is
so
rid-
lucky.
this is ridiculous. I've never seen you once intake liquids. This is nonsense. How's
I
everything,
am,
man?
in fact, a mummified corpse.
He's just Mike is just a piece of jerky.
Oh yeah, brother. Come drag me open.
How's everything, Mike? How you doing?
Uh, I'm doing all right, man. I'm starting to be fully recovered from I had a bout with a sinus infection that was very tiring and gross feeling for like 3 weeks, but I think I'm all right now.
I'm glad to hear it. Glad
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you're back. Yeah.
yeah,
You said it was like a sinus thing, right?
yeah. Sinus infection. Yeah,
Yeah. Not about that. It,
yeah. I got some of them cursed sinuses where that happens pretty often for me. So
yeah, I mean, I conceptually I don't like the idea of sinuses. I don't know what the hell they're good for. I'm sure there's some like
anytime you look at a picture of them, they're
oh
very gross.
uh
It's like, how does that? What do you mean that's in my
it's
face?
just shocking. Like what there's just holes in there? Like what? Just
There's holes
space.
in my face.
Ugh, I'm not into it. I don't
Gross. I
I,
just like I thought there was a skull and muscle,
yeah,
but now you're telling me there's Swiss cheese in my skin?
basically. It's
There's
horrifying. Uh
gross.
the first time I heard about that was in Japan. Somebody told me they were going to a nose, ear, and throat doctor, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
"What?"
an ET, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, How are those related?" And then I found out, and I was like, "That is
Oh
horrifying." I didn't know that was a thing. Just like those,
yeah, man.
you ever seen those pictures of like skulls where adult teeth are, where they're hidden inside your
Yeah, yeah,
face? Ugh,
right.
just we're
Yeah.
monsters. And it's just,
Biology is horrifying.
it's just the worst. Ugh, anyways,
Yeah, man.
good. I'm glad to hear you're doing better. That all those
Thanks,
spaces
man.
in your face are doing all right.
They're probably still fucked up, but we take just one day at a time,
Yeah. Yeah, it's spring, right? Or something. Spring or summer. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah,
anything is anymore.
I
Weather.
mean, where I live in Florida is just, it's just, it's always summer, and then it's not for 2 weeks, and then it's back to being summer.
Right.
So
It's always I don't want to be out there.
I don't want to be outside. It's also miserable
uh
inside.
like I don't even understand like going to the beach in Florida is it's like I why would you want to be out there with like just fully exposed?
I mean,
It's,
the beach on a good day, you get a nice breeze and you get the sea breeze,
yeah,
right? And
if it's
that's the
cloudy,
ideal
if it's
temperature. Yeah,
cloudy, I'm all in. But if it's hot, oh, it's just like
yeah.
what? Why am I'm walking on coals, and
See,
then
I,
there's
I
just
like I like the heat personally, but like, yeah, you get that clear sky. Some clouds is fine, or clouds in the distance. That's usually you get that sea breeze coming in.
it's the sand, man.
And
I hate sand. You know,
yeah, I know, man.
me and Darth Vader alike. If there's anything we
Yeah.
have in common is we fucking hate sand. All right, it's it's what is it good for? Let's be honest. Let's hunker down on this. What
Well,
the
it's the
fuck is?
result of the ocean and the
Ugh,
waves and all
well,
that. So
nothing good's ever come out of the ocean.
nothing ever
So
good,
come on.
especially humans.
Have you seen a sea urchin? Be real. Come on. That thing is
I mean,
terrible.
the Pokemon's pretty cool.
Is
The
it though?
Pokemon's huge.
Which ones is there?
Yeah,
Wait, why am I even doubting it? There's
of course there is. There's
the fuck?
1,900 of those
I'm
fucking
sure there's a
things.
water bottle Pokemon and a fucking USB cable
Next gen,
Pokemon.
next gen.
Yeah, any. Wait, where do you think the
Uh,
next Pokemon's gonna happen? What
and
fucking
the dump.
country? In a dump?
Just all the trash it's sent to. Oh
You
my
know,
god.
I'm still upset that Sun and Moon didn't happen anywhere near the moon or the sun. Like here's your chance to go to space. They're like, we're going to Hawaii. Like, what the fuck? I mean, fine, but come on. What are you
Yeah,
gonna? Anyways,
man. Yeah.
anyways, yeah. So, what you been playing lately, man?
I've been, I've been playing this little indie title named
Mm,
Tears of the Kingdom, but other than that, like I've managed to squeeze in some other
I've
games.
never heard of that. Is that you said it's indie?
Yeah, it's an indie game.
Uh,
It took them a while to get it onto the shelves and
mm,
stuff. Apparently, it's like a sequel to something. I can't remember the name of
man,
it though.
there are a lot of sequels out there now. Sequel fever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that game's taken over my fucking
yeah,
life, dude. Like my whole life. Like
yeah.
I have to uh, exercise the little bit of discipline I have to just like, sleep and stuff.
Yeah, man.
And like
It's
not
easier when you're unemployed.
yeah.
uh,
Yeah. If only I didn't have responsibilities in the morning, I'd be great. It would be
yeah,
awesome. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So
So
how
yeah.
you liking it?
Yeah, man, it's a really good game, man. I just as before we started recording here, I took a dive into the abyss, and that's
Oof.
just so
Wah.
good,
Yeah.
so good.
It's
I have the underground. It's just, it's the gem of that game, in my opinion. It's
mm.
just so fucking cool.
Yeah. I think
And
I'm gonna spend like the next week just in the underground. I think I'm just
oh
gonna.
man, be careful. You might
Yeah.
run out of arrows quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. You might be right.
That's
Um.
what happened to me. I spent a couple days down there without even going to the surface once, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I came in here with like almost 200 arrows, and now I'm out? Shit!"
I'm a big fan of just throwing things, like whatever it is.
Oh
I just
man,
throw everything at everything. Like, oh,
I
this
need to get
sword's
into that habit.
like chipped. Fuck this. Just throw it. I'm gonna get another one.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not
yeah,
precious
I
about
need to get in
anything.
that habit.
It's useful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I gotta spend some time in the abyss. I finished the Goron, like quest line thing. I've only got
Okay, that's the last one I haven't done.
okay. I have to do my last one would be the Gerudo one.
Gerudo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
the one. I'll probably fuck. I shouldn't because I have a lot of things to do. But I'll probably end up playing through that today.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Get through it.
yeah, it's the game's freaking great. But I think
Yeah, I can't wait to, because like, all right, so for context here, we're just going to be talking about generally the the beginning of the game and essentially like various open world mechanics and stuff. We're not going to talk about story.
yeah, yeah,
We're not going to talk about like the specific like plot point, like the four sages, that kind of thing. We're not going to do any of that. Um, yeah, we're just talking about general game mechanics, some experiences we had, and next time, after we're in a satisfied place where we stand and we've seen credits to the game
yeah,
and we've beaten Ganon and just,
yeah.
oh
Wherever he's
sorry,
at.
Ganon's in the game, spoiler, sorry.
Ah, fuck. What are you talking?
Yeah, it's fuck.
Yeah,
So
we'll have a dedicated podcast just for that for sure.
yeah,
And I'm sure we're gonna be able to get. Hopefully, we can get some of our community members in as well, because it's.
that'd be awesome.
I
I
think
would love to hear
I know
about it.
everyone's playing it, so I think I want to hear everyone's thoughts on it. There's a lot going on, but yeah, yeah. Generally speaking, uh, it's a really really fun game, and it's taken up all my attention, and it's kind of what
Yeah.
I felt like I needed because it's got a good balance of like puzzle solving and not well actually not I would say like the difficulty comes from feels like a puzzle solving adventure every time, right? Uh,
Hmm.
like even if it's a
Yeah,
combat problem, I'm like, all right, there's something I know I can do here differently, and there's
right.
playing with approaches and stuff is so much fun.
Yeah, there's so much. It's very open in its mechanics. Um, and much how like how Breath of the Wild was in just exploring the world. The world was very open to you. Um, but now the Link's abilities in this game are just like so open ended. as far as like you really are just like a fucking god now. It's just like you can make anything. Yeah, we talked about it before, but like when I first started the game and I was finally down on the ground in Hyrule and having all my abilities, it's like fuck it, I'm just gonna make a plane. I need to be able to just fly on a whim.
On a
And
whim,
and,
at a
and so
moment's
yeah,
fucking
just like
notice.
yeah, just put wing down, fans on the wing. Let's go. But I put it because like that was before because there's a cart attachment which makes a sled like ability for a wing makes it easier to slide around
Yeah.
like do that kind of thing. But before that, I just had those little
Okay.
builder kits where
Yeah.
I build like an axle, put some wagon wheels on that bitch,
Just
to fucking create a ramp as best I could with two planks of wood
uh-huh.
and send it, right?
Yeah.
And I spent probably like 2 hours just doing that. And I haven't talked to anybody. I was just fucking around so much with that building tool because like I went in blind as best I could. I know
Same.
Oliver, you also went in blind as well as best
Yeah.
you could. Um, and I knew that there was some weird type of mechanic with building, but I didn't realize it would be so like just you really are just snapping things together and just creating vehicles and doing all that stuff. Because holy moly, that's just
Yeah, not
really fun to do.
I almost regret getting the steering wheel thing sometimes because like when I didn't have it, I just I was just like just careening off of fucking off of
Yeah,
mountainsides. I just
yeah. It took me a bit to get that thing too. I wasn't, of course, I didn't know which gotcha, which gachapon had it,
yeah.
but
I mean
I
if
finding them around was nice.
I was really hoping there would be one because I'm still trying to be as blind as I can as I play, so I'm not
Yeah,
I see a few things here and there on Twitter, but I try to like avoid as much as I can. And
right.
but I was like, man, this is all really cool. I was like, but it'd be really cool if adjust the direction of the movement. But I'm still digging it. But
Yeah,
once you get that, it's such a game changer
it's
that
so
like,
nice. It really like every time you find a new piece to build with, it is
what?
always just. It's usually very exciting and just fun to mess around with.
Hold on a second. So Liv is playing as we're recording. She just got something. It's so shocking. I don't even know how to deal with it. Can I spoil this for you? It's,
What is it?
she just got a
What does
mask
she
or
do?
like a helmet head thing, right? Headgear.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Yeah.
just it's wait, hold on, put it on. I need to see it. I need to confirm.
Is it from Hatano Village?
No, it's like underground in please put it on.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
Oh my god. Okay. It's just the head of Link from Link's Awakening from the remake. He's just a
Oh, I've
bobblehead.
seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't have it myself, but I
Oh my
saw a
god.
picture of
Oh,
it.
this game is ridiculous.
Yeah, the underground's just full of little Easter eggs,
Uh,
apparently.
and it's in the
Stuff
Thundra
like that.
Plateau. Yeah, I'm gonna do that immediately. I need to I need to find the rest of that. Uh,
That's so funny.
Another fine Zelda game, that Link's Awakening remake. I really like that one. Um,
I
but
need to play that.
yeah, it's a solid. I mean, it's almost a port. Like it is like
Oh, I see.
it is like not obviously it's not pixels, but like
Yeah,
grid by
yeah.
grid, it is identical, but just it plays nice. It looks great. It's just so cheerful and just like it's got what's the word? Charming. It's super charming.
Right, right.
That
Yeah, it
helmet's a
looks
little
really cute.
it's a little jarring on your body, but it's
Yeah, the
uh,
misproportion.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, yeah. Overall, the game's just been a ton of fun, taking up my attention. I can't stop playing. Everybody I
Yeah.
work with is playing it. Um, we're just talking about it
Yeah.
all the time. Like, dude, you got to do this. Oh my god, you got to go there. You got to check this out. And yeah, the underground feels like such a. Every time you go down there, it feels so special. Um,
Yeah.
but like one thing I've had to do is change my like Breath of the Wild mindset because I don't
Mhm.
I didn't play it all the time, but I beat it a few times. I think I'm not sure if I even 100%ed it, maybe, but like I got to the point where I was just doing kind of like challenge runs, like bows only, or no map, no teleport, no glider. Just climbing.
Oh wow, all right.
Yeah, and I would do like at a timer. I would do like an hourly reset, so everything I had on me, I would just drop. Just
Oh
start
my
over.
god.
I'd be like, all right, let's do it. Because to me, that was the funnest part. It was like when you didn't have anything, you had to improvise. Um,
Yeah.
Now it's like so I came into this with that same mindset, and I was like, oh, I cannot do that. I'm getting my ass handed to me. Like this is a
Yeah.
very different game, and I need to use all the tools available to me, and then
Yeah.
like master it before I can confidently try that
Yeah.
again.
There's such a because one of the major mechanics of this game is fusing weapons together,
Yeah,
things to make your own weapons, and that just like it's just like damn, there's a ton of variety to it. I still have issues with the durability system in the game.
yeah,
There's nice little caveats that help you avoid it. Um, I think it's mostly the inventory limit thing that I still have a problem with. I kind of wish you didn't need a vendor to do anything with that. I
um,
wish you could just have the resource to make your inventory larger,
yeah.
like whenever you could. Or I don't want to like Hatsu's fun,
I
but
like
he's
his
not that fun,
I like his updated dance for sure. I'm glad he's got backup dancers, but
Yeah, it's great. And the colors change when,
yeah.
whichever bag you're upgrading. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
fantastic.
That's like Koroks are not something I seek out. They just kind of I'm like, "Oh, that's a suspicious stone," and then I just do it.
Yeah.
I'm also not crucifying all the Koroks that are out there. I'm not like parading them through the
Yeah, yeah.
streets.
Honestly, I'm not fighting a ton of monsters. Like
Yeah.
I remember in Breath of the Wild where I would just like see an enemy camp and I was like, okay, I gotta beat them up.
Mm.
I'm avoiding a lot of those camps now. Like personally, like I don't think there's as many as there was in the original game, but personally, I'm just going around that stuff.
I think there might be actually more.
You think
Especially
there's
with
more? Okay.
with the if you consider caves, not the underground, but like caves
Oh, right, yeah.
as
I do
well.
the caves, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're kind of littered about, and then like the roaming like big boss bokoblin with his
That's
gang.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Right now, I've unlocked all the great fairies, so I'm
Oh wow.
actively
Okay.
I'm actively like seeking them out because I need like parts for upgrades. Um,
Okay.
but yeah,
Yeah, I haven't
early
done that
on,
yet.
I
I
was
think I've done three,
yeah,
maybe two or three.
early on I was avoiding them too. I was just like my bow was my best friend because just like shoot him in the eye, run away. Like just I can't take a
Yeah,
hit. It was
the bow is very powerful in this because again, like with the fusing system, you could just
oh
create
god,
fire arrows. You can create electric arrows
right,
or lightning arrows, water arrows. You just can make anything. Bomb arrows on a fly, right?
yeah.
Just have the resources for them,
But then
which is
also
insane.
the was it the so like the fusing thing is pretty cool. But I like that there's like it's how do I explain it? Like sometimes the fusing solves some problems I had with the combat. I feel like the combat's overall fine. Like it's not terribly changed. You still got
All right.
most of the basic stuff. But one big change I really like is that now when I have a spear, if I combine it with a shield, I can block with the spear, and I'm like, that feels great. Like it looks like almost
Oh wow, that's cool.
like a Zulu type spear with a shield attached. So
Oh, okay.
if you're just like locked on with your spear out, you'll block the hit with the shield on it, and then you can strike back.
Hadn't thought of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's things like that, right? Like those little bits of
Yeah.
creativity. Have you ever have you attached a fire barrel to your explosive barrel to your sword? That's fun. It
Is
only
that what
works.
you've been chucking?
Yeah, it works once.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it really does. Or put it on your shield and wait for someone to hit you. That's
Oh,
great. Putting springs on your shield are pretty fun too.
oh
Just
man,
fucking
yeah,
launch them. Just like doing. Like, all
yeah.
right, you did that. I didn't do that.
Yeah, you can do that with the mushrooms as well. That creates little bouncing weapons apparently.
Oh, really? I haven't. I've
Yeah.
seen some like bokoblins with mushrooms on their weapons, but I just never. I don't. I usually break them up because I just want the base weapon, and then I use their horns or whatever, like whatever's on the ground. And I kind of that's my approach. It's been like a nomadic. Like I'm just on the move, so whatever's on the ground, I'm just gonna pick it up, fuse it, and just keep going. Um,
Okay, yeah.
but there's also I don't know if you've unlocked the. Have you been to Terrytown yet?
I have not. That was what I was hoping to do today.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a short quest to do there, and unlock something that's pretty. You think it's gonna be really major, and it's like kinda. Um,
okay.
I was a little disappointed with it, but overall, it's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
but I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Have you done let's see. I did Hatano Village.
Hmm.
Did
The
you do that?
yeah, the mushroom election.
Dude,
Or whatever.
okay, so we can talk about this then.
Okay.
So like upon Kakariko Village is something I was doing first. I still haven't done all like the ring ruin stuff yet
Yeah.
there. But what got me going to Hatano Village was well, every other fucking villager talking about Hatano Village, first of all.
Right.
and, and then there was a sick old lady who had touched the gloom and she came down with an illness in Kakariko
Right. Right.
and her daughters didn't know what to do. This was
Right.
tied to
Right.
the clothing store
Right.
for
Because
your armor.
trying to get
It was
that
super
sneak.
expensive and so yeah, the recipe needed to make this special porridge is you need milk, and it was like, damn, man, I should have bought that milk from the three fucking merchants I passed by on this on the road. It's like, damn it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna assume that milk you can buy milk in Hatano Village. So I made my way over there, and upon getting there, I just see everyone with their goddamn mushroom hats. It's like, no, Brito's here. Son of a bitch, he's everywhere. For context, Brito
Oh
is
God.
a polarizing
Ugh,
artist.
he's a
And
hack.
that is it
He's
is
a hack.
infected. He infected both coasts.
Ugh.
He was in Miami when I was going to school with Oliver,
Ugh.
and when I moved to California, they were putting up burrito art there. It's like, damn it,
Ugh. I'm so
coast to
sorry.
coast.
That guy is he's just the worst. He makes like coloring book bullshit.
Yeah, it's like
And
literally like you Blues Clues, but like with like
uh,
he's just worse.
he's just convinced people that it's just like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And when I see people fawning over his work, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like,
It
am I
made no
blind?
sense, dude. It made no sense.
It's the goofiest shit, but like he just mass produced it, and like you could
Oh,
get a
dude, he made
burrito
a
lamp,
mint.
shoes.
He was a con artist
For
with
real,
that
for
art.
real. Like it is like
A
the
legal
emperor.
con artist.
It's like the emperor has no clothes to the nth degree. I cannot believe the people are just like, this is the greatest thing. I'm like, what? What do you? It's polka dots. The fuck out of here, bro.
Literally Blues Clues with polka dots.
Fucking shoot me in the
Oh my
face. Anyways,
god.
yeah.
So yeah, those are burrito minute. I'm gonna come back
God,
eventually.
I haven't thought about that idiot in so long. I met him.
Yeah, man.
Did I ever tell you that I met
Oh,
him?
you met him?
Oh my god, he's such a
Oh,
prick.
was he?
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit.
worked at an art gallery, and of course, it was like it was an animation art gallery thing, and they sold his some of his stuff because it was popular at the time. It
Yeah,
whatever sells sells,
yeah, yeah. I don't
and
know if it's still popular. I haven't been to Miami
I
in
fucking
years,
hope
but
not. But
I didn't
and
have to ask around.
yeah, and like yeah, it just um he came in to do some shit. I don't remember what, and he was just a prick. I just remember him being like really rude and just like, yeah, I don't really have time for this, and just like okay,
Okay.
bro, I don't get out of here. Like I don't
Sheesh.
want you around. But that goes for a lot of man. We can do the artist shit talking. There's a guy. There's a really terrible artist named fucking what's his name, Charles Fazino. Yo,
Okay.
you want to talk about a fucking con artist? This guy might be worse
Holy
than
moly.
this dude. Charles Fazino is a guy who does really bad like doodles from like pop culture. Okay, you should Google it because once you
I'm
see it,
looking at it right
it's
now.
horrible.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so what he does is he prints these like
Fucking
these
where's Waldo?
he prints out these images that are just horrific. There's just a bunch of like imagine like there's an I Love Lucy one, right? There's like Lucy in the middle, and then like I don't know parts of her apartment, her friends, just a bunch of shit on a page. Okay,
Just the whole page is filled with
it's just
just
filled with shit.
absolute nonsense.
But then what he does is
Yeah.
he prints it 3 times and then cuts it out with like an X-Acto knife, so it makes it look quote unquote 3D because he just puts like little pieces of foam
Okay.
in between it, so it makes them pop
Right,
out.
right.
And then he puts them
Yeah.
in a frame and he sells these things for thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I had to at the same gallery he came by and I had to just like my God, I just had to keep my mouth shut. I was just like, I don't like droves of people came to, oh my God, I love his work. Just like, what are
Uh,
you? And like next to him, like it was all the Alex Ross artwork I could fucking find that we could sell. And I'm like, we don't. Okay, I mean that's fine. Like maybe you don't want a painting of Superman. That's fine. But this
yeah.
bullshit doodle of the Flintstones is like gonna blow your fucking mind. Like get out of here. Like I couldn't.
It's bad.
Anyways,
It's real bad.
we might.
Sorry, that was
That was our
our
fucking.
shitty artist. Speaking of Hatano Village, there's an artist there named Cece.
Oh God. Okay.
Fashionista. The thing is I came into that like that story. That story actually surprised me with the ending of it. Um, because like going into it, it's like, oh God, I don't want anything to do with this character at all. Please, no, nothing. I don't even want to talk to her. Just like, God, this is awful. And you get the same thing where all these characters are around. Ah, CC fashion, it's the best thing, and just
It's
they're
so
literally
ugly.
just they're wearing these ugly mushroom caps, and it's like it's funny. These mushrooms like fucking parasites, like just infecting people.
I'm just thinking about fucking like Last of Us.
Cordyceps, yeah, yeah, cordyceps.
Uh,
And it's like there's got to be like a good and bad ending with this, right? Like if you side with CC or the mayor, and it's just like, but no, as you go along and you learn like CC actually is very wholesome in her actual true desires. The fashion things kind of were more of like a front for her to be like to get her favorite village up on the market, more people to come on by and like it, and the mayor just wants the same things that she wants, and it's pretty damn wholesome. Like all the characters involved are very cute, and it was just a fun little it turned out I was surprised by it, just by how much I actually ended up liking it, compared to how turned off I was by CC and just not wanting to do anything about it. And of course my reward for it is I get to wear a horrific hat with lipstick and a fucking wig. Like it's like, oh God.
yeah, I don't even think you can upgrade it.
No, I don't think so. But
Yeah,
it's-
it's like yeah, I got it. I was like, all right, well, just put that away. I guess I don't
yeah.
like. There's no unless it gives me some kind of like I mean, that's kind of my thing. I feel like if I had a complaint, is that a lot of the clothing doesn't have an extra function outside of like, not a non-extra function. That's not true. Like for example, like flame guard or swim up or and all that stuff. That's cool.
Mhm.
But I feel like there's no extra function like out like that the world itself reacts to. Like the people are like, "Whoa, you look weird," or "Oh, I really like that
Right,
hat," or
right,
"I'm looking for somebody." Like there's these quests in like Monster Hunter Stories where they're like, "Man, I remember this dude. He used to wear this really weird armor. It was purple. And I
right,
don't
right,
remember." You're like, "Oh, you put it on, then they give you something for it." Like
right, right.
it
Those are
feels
cool.
like the application is a little like limited in that way. But I'm
Yeah.
not done with the game, so I don't know. I got this one armor that seems like it might have a pretty cool application. But I don't want to ruin it.
Okay.
Um, but
Gotcha, gotcha.
but yeah. Anyways, this game, pretty good,
It's
pretty good
pretty
game,
amazing.
pretty
Yeah.
good game.
Yeah. I think we're
Uh,
being too positive though, so so it's time to get into the
uh,
negative.
I will say I found it really funny when it was coming out, and there's a bunch of like you know, all the scores are coming out. And it's like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like and then the haters start crawling out of their fucking caves, and they're like, "Ugh."
Crawling
Yeah,
out of the abyss.
yeah, they're just like, "Ugh, it's the same map. Ugh, I think you're paying for DLC," and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, okay, yeah, maybe I don't know. But then I saw this article from Kotaku who was they were blacklisted by Nintendo which is pretty funny.
You're right.
And they
That
were
is
like,
funny.
they're like, it's a good thing because one website gave it like a 9.5 or something. They're like, it's a good thing that not everybody gave it a 10. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, bro,
Jesus Christ.
awesome.
Really, just like no redemption for them whatsoever, man.
It's like you guys can't stop with your shit takes. Just like maybe don't like promote, I don't know, emulators and piracy.
Yeah,
Like
just because you got blacklisted.
yeah, like when I'm pretty sure it was over the Metroid Dread stuff. Like the week of, they released an article saying how much better it ran on an emulator, on a popular emulator, and I was like,
Okay.
what the fuck? And of course they're just gonna be like the first week of sales, like you're gonna start talking about that kind of stuff is
Yeah, so
yeah.
well deserved.
Yeah, basically. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Kotaku's been in the gutter for a long time. They weren't really that great before.
No, no. It's
The
just
thing.
I don't know. I feel like that
Yeah.
the what actually what really throws me off about it is like about that specifically is like if you're a journalist, I assume you have to have these kind of contacts within the industry, right? And you're meeting with these
Mhm.
people, you're exchanging, you're emailing, all this stuff, right? And so you know how hard these like devs are working on stuff, and then like to kind of like undercut it, undercut their work, right? Like the
Mhm.
week of release, and then be like, oh well, we didn't say go illegally download. It's like, ugh, all right, dude, like come on, what are you doing, right? It's the same thing when people are like, emulation is not piracy. It's like, yeah, true. And then and like, oh, if you dump your games, you know it's legal. It's like, yeah, but nobody's dumping their games. Like, just there's one dude
Right.
who's doing it and just distributing it. I don't even know how you would dump a Switch game from a cartridge. I don't know what wizardry it would take to do that.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
yeah, well, how that stuff works either, but I've seen some emulation of Tears of the Kingdom, and I've seen some of the mods that people are doing for the game,
Already, huh?
and
Damn.
like some people have modded it, basically like have Unreal 5 textures,
Oh
and
God,
it's just like insane. Like just like oh god, it's like it's too much.
it's too much. Yeah. It's just like those dudes who are like, look at that Ocarina of Time at Unreal 5. What's wrong with you, Nintendo? It's like, who the fuck wants to play that? Like, that looks like it's real pretty, but I don't need like
Yeah, you don't
8K
need to be in
graphics.
that. Don't need to be in that environment for that long. It's like the thing is like Nintendo's still one of the companies that takes advantages of their limitations that they put upon themselves, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes you just get something really good out of it. It doesn't work every time, obviously. It doesn't work for every uh company under Nintendo. Like, best example that comes to mind, most prominent is Pokemon.
oy,
Pokemon's
oy.
games are real rough in
I
their current state. It's and it comes down to is just they don't give themselves enough time to really develop those games, apparently. Like I'm not gonna speak for what the exact problem is. I don't know anything about that internally, obviously. But the games come out, they come out, they shovel them out every year, and they're looking worse and worse, and they're getting more and more ambitious, and that's not a good combo.
yeah.
Like so,
Yeah,
uh,
I remember
so
when like Assassin's Creed took like a year or two off, and it it, it turned out to like change. From what I remember, that they changed up enough of the formula that it was like it rendered them somewhat successful. Um,
right.
and
Yeah, yeah. They became like light RPGs pretty much,
right,
character stats and loot drops and all that
going
stuff.
to
So they turn
Atlantis.
well, it's more like light MMO, really, honestly.
Oh
It's like
boy.
just single player.
All right.
Just
See,
like all those mechanics in a single player game.
every time we talk about Assassin's Creed, Mike, it's like what
Yeah,
one
every
day
time.
you're turning me on, and then the next day you're turning me off, bro. You're like, yeah,
Hey
these
man,
games are really
it's
good,
the ride.
and then
It's the ride.
then you're like, it's an
It's
MMO. Like, oh fuck, I gotta go. And then you're gonna tell me like, well, but I don't know, bro. You can fight with like you can fight a Thermopylae with like,
That's
okay,
the
well, I
thing
think I'm
is, like,
into it.
I can be super positive and like about the things that excite me about those games, but I cannot recommend them to anybody. So it's literally the 50-50 draw on those.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Ubisoft, man.
Yeesh. Oosh. Yeah. We how many games have we how many Ubisoft games have we started together? We're like, awesome, great co-op, and then we're like an hour and we're like, well, I guess I know
That's
how this
it.
game's gonna turn out. like I
Yeah, we there was a bunch of them for free on the PlayStation Plus. And what is it called? The
extra subscription
extra or
thing.
something like right. So yeah, did you get a bunch of games included with that? And there's a bunch of Ubisoft titles
Yeah.
included, and we went down the gambit pretty much. I didn't even try the biking one that you tried it out, right?
Yeah, Descenders. I don't know if that's an Ubisoft one,
Right.
but it was.
It is a
Oh, okay.
Ubisoft
Well,
game,
it
yeah.
fucking felt like it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all right. But anyways, yeah, I
We
guess
did
that's
Steep, we did Ghost Recon.
yeah. We did Steep Ghost Recon and uh oh, we didn't never tried Division. We never did that one.
Oh, I played it. It's more the same.
I mean, I played it too, but we never did it together. But yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's an Ubisoft game. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, I would just say everybody play Tears of the Kingdom if you can.
Play
Um,
Tears of the
I
Kingdom.
can't believe how well that game runs. I can't believe
Yeah,
all.
I guess we kind of just rolled right into that converse into talking about Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know. We would just keep talking about
We could do.
it.
We really could, but we should
I
stop
think
because
I could.
we have other things we need to talk about. But
All
uh,
right, all right.
I mean, I'd love to, Mike. But no, I really do think it'd be good to have like see if we can get more people,
Yeah,
community,
for sure, absolutely.
and once we're like satisfied with the wrap up of the story, then we can we can properly talk about it.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, so let's jump into the subject. 40 minutes in, let's get into the subject of the
Well,
fucking
I
podcast.
can add on to a couple other games I tried out just really quickly
Okay, yeah, sure.
because I actually have had found time to stop playing Tears of the Kingdom and play some other
I
games
don't
for.
believe you, but go ahead. It's not
I've taken
possible.
a couple days off. So I played Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun,
Yeah.
which is a new dub genre of boomer shooter. So it's just a retro style
What the
game. It's
fuck?
like
What did you just fucking say? Boomer
they
shooter?
call them they call them boomer shooters now. So
What the fuck? I'm not that old, man.
everything has to have a title, Oliver.
Ah,
You don't understand. That's just how kids work these days, I guess.
boomer
Everything needs,
shooter? What the
yeah,
fuck?
boomer shooter.
Not. All right.
So it's a retro style, classic Doom slash Wolfenstein type of shooter, and it's Warhammer 40K, and you play as a Space Marine, and it's awesome. I played the first like 4 levels, I think. I recorded them. I do want those to eventually go up on YouTube. I think a long play of that would be really cool. I hear the game is 10 hours long,
God damn
which
it.
I was surprised because of what it is, but at the same time, I'm down, dude. That game was a lot of fun to just fuck around in with, just blowing shit up using a bolt gun. Because I don't know how much you know about 40K lore, Oliver, but like
Uh,
a bolt gun, a Space Marines bolt gun is essentially like an automatic missile
missile launcher.
launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shoots micro missiles that are
Right.
probably the size of Coke cans,
Is it
but
isn't
like
that like the isn't that one of the upgrades in uh Dawn of War? I want to say it's an upgrade, right? Sorry. Go ahead.
probably and I don't know,
I
the RTS.
yeah. I feel like that's like one of the squad upgrades you can get is like a bolt
Oh,
gun.
okay.
And but go on. Sorry, ignore me. Keep
Okay,
going.
yeah,
This is
probably.
poor podcasting. Go ahead.
Uh, yeah, so yeah, Warhammer. I always wanted to say is bolt gun's a lot of fun if you haven't played it yet. I recommend it to anyone who's in the mood to play a Doom game and just blow shit up to the theme in the 40K theme because it really fits well. The pixel graphics are really well done. The cutscenes are fun, and it's a solid package. It's a good game. Um,
Yeah, I need a.
I also
I really
yeah.
want to play some. I've been thinking about like RTS stuff lately, and I just really want to get back into Dawn of
Okay,
War.
yeah.
That was
Yeah, that
Dawn of
could be
War was
cool.
so much fucking fun. Um,
Yeah.
just it's such a good introduction to that universe. It's so fucking over the
It's
top.
it's a funny thing because like uh 40K is daunting to
Yeah.
like get into anything about with because holy fuck, there's a lot. It's depressing if you
Yep.
learn too much.
It's very
It
sad.
is it's hopeless, you know, it's just the worst parts of humanity possible could possibly be imagined in the fictional media. So it's just like it's very much that, but like what sells people on it is the rule of cool. The rule of cool is paramount in that franchise, in my opinion. Because holy fuck, because that is you look at a space marine, you see it's just like yeah, this guy's like 12 feet tall and he shoots a automatic missile launcher. It's like yeah, that's fucking cool. And he's like the orcs are fucking just massive fucking fantasy orcs, but now they're just armored up and they have machine guns too, and just it's all this just rule of cool wins the day with
Dude,
that for sure.
I remember reading that like one of them, like orcs basically just grow forever, and if they get old enough, they could just become their own planet.
I
Like,
don't know if that's canon anymore. They change a
what?
lot of shit.
I, all
Yeah.
right. I take it back. I'm
They
leaving.
they I don't even think they call them orcs anymore.
What?
Like they got their name. The recent change shit is really weird. Like yeah,
Oh
like
man.
they had Eldari like or the space elves. They're
Yeah.
not even called that anymore. It's like it's
What?
like
The Eldar? They're
yeah,
not the Eldar?
I think the Eldar are the same. The Dark Eldari are just something different now, I think. I'm not 100% on this.
Uh,
Again, the lore is a fucking mess. There's so much of it. Anytime like there's God bless anyone who manages to sift through all of it and try to like condense it down into consumable media like on YouTube. Luton, that's a shout out to that channel. Uh,
Luton. Okay.
you're awesome, dude, but holy shit, your content I just want to learn about Space Marines, and like that video is like 3 hours long. So,
Oh
like
no.
not exaggerating. Every video he drops, I think the shortest video I ever dropped was like 20 minutes that he was talking about Space Marine 2, the
Oh,
video game.
oh
So,
God.
so
Yeah.
uh,
No, I
but
remember like my friends like getting like the novelization of like the Horus Heresy and just looking at
oh
the
my god.
thickness, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I gotta
Yeah,
draw the
dude.
line
Take
somewhere.
the footnotes version of that.
Yeah, like
Take
how
the
does the
footnotes
spine of
of
that
that.
book hold together? It's insane. It's a paperback. What? How'd you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah, so
It's
yeah,
the
40
one thing that I remember
okay,
like really
something
hooked
else.
me was getting like a librarian and being like the librarian is a badass unit. And being like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, this is
yeah,
amazing. This is
yeah.
ridiculous, and I'm in. Um, for sure. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad the
But yeah,
the
yeah, so yeah, I was the whole reason I went on that tangent is to say that Dawn of War kind of like has this like where you build squads of space marines, but like in the lore, like there's a weird dissonance between like that game getting people into 40K. But when you learn about more shit about 40K, it's like there's so much like epic like grandness to fucking literally
everything.
everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Absolutely, it's just vast. Everything like how cool is this? It's vastly cool because of all this shit
Yeah.
like attached to it. And like when you learn about what a space marine is and what it means when they're in combat,
It's horrifying.
it's just like daunting. It's
Yeah.
just overwhelming. It's like when you take everything into context with the space like if you've seen the recent like Space Marine like 2 like cinematic trailer where there's like
Yes. Yeah, the
the guardsman.
guardsman. Yeah, he's looking at him. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they're versing the I think it's the Gene Splitters or something like that. I can't remember their
I
name.
don't
Forgive me, 40K fans, if any one of you are listening. I'm sorry. Please,
know.
please forgive me. I don't know much. I don't know. I'm sorry. Um, very very passionate group.
Yeah, I bet they have to
Um,
be.
like taking into context that the infantryman sees a space marine and he kills all the enemies before him, but also knowing that infantryman is probably the most fucked man or screwed person in the universe
Yep.
because one, they're on a planet versing these horrific monsters, but also a space marine has to show up to solve the problem. That's when you're just like, oh no, okay, this guy's probably gonna die in the next 10 seconds because of just how foobar everything is on this planet. Because like when a space marine shows up, that means you're on the brink.
Right.
You're on the edge of the war front, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
you're in the worst place you never want to be. Because that's where they're said.
I think
So like those kind of cool context stuff is really fun and super open ended. Learning more about that kind of stuff, but it's just a funny little dissonance between the RTS and the lore of that world 40K.
yeah, I think was it, Winter Assault, the first like expansion brought in the the guardsmen and
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
and then like I remember like I was like, "Oh, cool, new units. I'll play with them." And immediately I was like, "Man, they can't take a hit. Like, why do they suck so bad?" And then like
because they're
getting
not Space Marines.
yeah, and then getting their like commander to like rally the squad, and he just
He
shoots one of
just
them in the
kills the
head. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
guy.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
well, you guys are kind of cool. I feel a little bad. I don't want to bring you into this, but you have to be.
uh,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, those games are great. Those games are just great. Um,
yeah.
yeah, maybe one day when I'm not playing Tears of the
You know,
Kingdom, maybe I'll come back to it
someday, we don't
someday.
know that TBD on that,
TBD,
you know.
yeah. Any. I don't know. I the other back to Tears of the Kingdom really quick to wrap up our
Yeah,
45-minute dive into. But
interlude.
basically, I feel like a big a a weird thing that's happening with me in this game is that I'm not terribly interested in the story because the mechanics are taking up so much of my attention. And so
Yeah,
what I'm really looking for is opportunities to make cool shit or to do cool things, right? And I'm like I'm
yeah,
really focused on exploration. Then like the story stuff, I'm like, okay, I kind of just want to know like the limits of the story because I'm a little
okay,
interested. And then after that, I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I'm probably just gonna keep dicking around and just solving because there's
yeah,
so many quests. I think I read there's like over
tons.
200 and something uh quests in total.
Holy moly.
So I'm like,
Yeah, it
okay,
makes
it's gonna be like a slow grind, but I also feel like I need a little bit of finality so that I can breathe.
yeah, yeah, I feel that.
Even though I'm
Yeah.
not, like I said, I don't really care. Like and I know it's
The story from what I've seen so far is interesting. There's
yeah,
some parts I don't like about it, but that's just like I think a given
yeah.
with
I think
personal
that's
taste and all that. So
but I feel like it's not okay. It's not Pokemon, right? But I feel like
mhm,
I get it. I gotta
yeah.
save the
They're
okay.
they're
Yeah,
I, they're
that's fine.
trying harder for sure because
Okay,
like they're putting a lot of work into the cutscenes, and I think they're really trying to sell the characters as they are. So like I think uh they are taking a benefit of like it being an actual sequel. Like we have established characters already from the first game,
right.
and they're building upon those characters, right? With the sages and all that. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
there's more to the characters. It's nice to see, but at the same time there's some weird little bits here and there. But I've seen some cutscenes that have me more invested than I was
Okay.
previously. So
Yeah,
um,
I've also been avoiding all
the
what do
teardrops,
the
right?
teardrop stuff. Yeah, so I'm sure once I get all that, I'll be like into
Yeah,
it.
do definitely do those in order. I still haven't finished them all myself, but the way I we'll have to talk about it more after post. But the way I've actually gone about it and progressed the story overall, I've actually lucked out in how things actually unfolded. It felt a bit more cinematic the way I actually kind of because that's the thing is the game is unstructured and structured in sections, right?
Right.
So like it's still up to you how you want to progress things to a very free level. So the way I've gone about it, I've just basically stumbled upon a very cool cinematic way about going through the story. So we'll have to talk about that more later, though.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be like the parameters. Maybe when we finally talk about it, will be like you do the big four events, you get the
Yeah,
teardrops,
yeah.
and then you
Mhm.
beat Ganondorf.
Right. See credits,
The,
pretty
yeah,
much. Yep.
see the Dwarf Man, take him down.
See Mr. Dorf.
Doctor Dwarf.
Dr. Dorf. Where's that Tetris knockoff?
Yeah.
That'd
You just
be great.
moving moblin heads or something.
Mm.
It's just pigs. Okay. Uh, let's take a quick break and we'll talk about
Okay,
the real topic of
that's
the
right. The
podcast,
Sony event.
the Sony PlayStation Direct for May of
Yes.
2023.
Yeah.
All right. We
All right.
shall return. All right. We're back. Uh, I
Welcome back. Welcome back.
yeah,
Welcome
I'm caffeinated. Got some hot coffee. I'm ready to talk about the
back. All right.
PlayStation Direct or whatever it's called. The PlayStation event thing.
Super duper Sony Express
Mhm. It's just
Direct.
honestly, I okay. We should probably talk about the presentation. I didn't like the actual like the whole four button thing. I feel like it's the most boring branding ever. Like I just
Okay.
don't give a shit about a triangle. Like
I
I
get
don't
you.
get hype when they're like, look at
That
look at the
stuff I don't.
square.
I'm trying to like actively trying to remember what you're talking about as far as presentation go. But like for these types of events, I just usually join a
Scroll through it.
voice call with my other friends,
Uh,
and we just shit talk or talk
okay.
over everything. So,
I
so
well yeah, because usually due to time zones, I just end up watching these things like first thing as soon as I wake up, quietly, and I'm just watching, going like, what? I don't. Why do we need
yeah,
these lights? Can you move on? Like,
yeah,
who gives a shit? Just go to the next game. Whereas like the Nintendo Directs have like a consistent theme across them, and they're very like peppy and like, hey, check out this
right,
next
right.
game
They're more
from
engaging.
yeah.
Yeah,
And this is just like some dude in a room, and I'm like, who's that? And
yeah. I don't know what it is.
he's like, we like
Hey,
innovation.
I own Sony. Listen to me.
I'm like, all right, sure, dude.
Said, all right,
Whatever.
deal.
All right, but yeah, so we want to just kind of just go over it. We've done this before with like
Yeah.
the GBA Direct. That's what we called it. We're gonna rename everything for our convenience.
Okay.
If they can fucking call them boomer shooters, so yeah, I can call this a PlayStation Direct. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck it.
fuck it, we'll do it live. And so we're
Right.
just gonna talk about the games that we kind of find interesting because there was a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of games, and about. I was personally surprised by how many I was actually interested in and surprised by because
Same.
I don't usually like I don't read leaks or go into hype or
Hmm.
anything about these types of things. When it's happening, I'll turn it on and I'll watch it if I'm not doing anything else. So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
am an active
I
like leak hater. Like when people start going off about leaks, I'm like, can you just shut up and wait? Like, what is the rush? They're like, well, maybe
yeah,
they might. It's like, but you'll
we
just
gotta talk
find out.
about it.
Yeah, you'll just
We
find
gotta talk
out.
about it. No.
Why can't you just show a little bit of like restraint and
Yeah,
just wait for it? You'll know.
it doesn't exist on the internet
Oh,
anymore.
it's like
It
they
just
want
is.
you to know. If like
Yeah,
they want
they
you to
want
buy this.
you to buy their product. Yeah.
I don't. Why? Anyway.
Anyways,
Anyways.
so yeah, we're gonna be talking about the games we're most interested in.
Mhm.
So,
All right.
all
So
right,
first up, okay, we're gonna talk about the game that I'm least interested in right
but
away.
I'm super excited about Alan Wake 2,
uh,
baby.
Alan Wake. So
All right,
yeah,
so
let's go over their
yeah,
brief personal history with
yeah.
Mr. Wake.
Brief personal history with Alan Wake 1, the first game. We both hate it. It's not a good game.
It's
It sucks.
it's so
It, it's
boring.
it's
Fuck.
boring.
Oh my
It's just
god.
it like there's something interesting there, but it's like it's so shrouded in its own like mess, you just can't get
Just
to it.
it's
It's
like
unfortunate.
the game itself is it's the best. If you describe the game, you describe the game. Like it's the only way to like it's a foggy fucking maybe there's something there. Guess what? I don't
You
think
use a
there is.
flashlight as a weapon along
Oh,
with guns. None of it really makes sense. It's so convoluted and just
I just
esoteric and like the surreal elements don't save it. And that's usually what grabs me or makes me gravitate to like horror titles personally is I love surrealism. I love surreal horror. I don't like the gore stuff as much. Definitely don't like gore. like body horror type stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but that game doesn't have any of that type of stuff. The surreal nature is just not strong enough
Nah.
for me to really grasp onto it.
Nah.
But the game that saved Alan Wake's messy fucking narrative for me personally is Control
Hmm.
because it's made by the same devs. And if you've ever played Control, you go through that crazy ride of a game,
It's
and
fun. That's a
it's
fun
a
game.
really good game.
Yeah.
And they create like an SCP inspired like world building narrative, and involved in it is Alan Wake's story. So like Alan Wake is a part of that world. Control's world is so much more interesting now.
So much.
They
But
did basically like just catapult like just something that was just so loosely just not interesting at all.
at
It just
all.
made it more interesting.
But
They made it more interesting because it's now connected to Control, right?
yeah, and
So
I think
for
like
the
another
yeah.
another big problem I had with Alan Wake was that it wasn't just that it was boring, is that everybody else was telling me it wasn't boring, and I'm like, are you? I don't know what you guys
Yeah,
are fucking
yeah.
talking about.
It
Like,
had that it had the the I guess the journalist crew around it where it's just like it got a lot of good scores, I think.
yeah, a lot of good
Um
scores, and people are like, this is
yeah.
just like Twin Peaks. I'm like, but Twin Peaks has fucking content. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm even doing
Yeah.
here. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by Twin Peaks, but like it's just yeah.
yeah,
It's just it's unfortunate, but Alan Wake 2, everything I'm seeing about it, and especially going off of Control, I'm super excited to see what they do with that game
yeah. I
because
mean,
it looks scary. It looks like visually gorgeous. Like
mm,
holy shit. It's like how deep in detail like the Resident Evil team gets with like their environmental building. They'll
yeah.
just fill the environment with stuff and it just looks lived in and just it just looks gorgeous.
I will say, like,
So
just like I'm now that I'm thinking about like Control, I remember being like ready to be scared the whole time, and it didn't really come through. And I was like, that's actually a really cool
yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
Like, I was
yeah.
so
There's a
fucking
tense,
tense.
real feeling. Yeah,
Yeah, and it was like, oh, like every time you went to the hotel or whatever, I was like, ah, fuck, something's gonna jump
yeah.
out. I'm gonna, it's something's
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
make me
That
fart like unintentionally, like 100%. And it just never
like you
happened. I was like, all right, cool,
squeeze and
dude.
compress.
Yeah, just I was just gripping the
Oh
ground
my,
with my fucking feet. And I'm like, bro, what
oh
is
my
behind this
gosh.
stupid door? And then it was nothing. And I was like, oh man, they're
Oh man,
fucking with me. They're fucking with me. And
they really are. They fuck with you a lot in that game.
the
It's
scariest
great.
thing in that game is those damn puppets.
Yeah,
Those
sand
Finnish,
puppets.
the Finnish or the Swedish or I don't know, the
Yeah.
Scandinavian creep puppets.
Yeah,
Boy,
I think yeah, that was awesome. I love those little VHS tapes. It's so
yeah.
good, so
But like
creepy.
the
I was
gameplay was
like
super fun in that
yeah,
game,
I
right?
was like I was just like every time like those videos ended, it was like one of those fucking dolls is gonna be like right behind me, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
like every time the video
Am
ended
I?
or something.
I was like, am I gonna be the doll now? Like, ugh. Like I didn't. It,
Yeah,
and the fact
something.
that it was like like live action full motion video
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fucking. It was so jarring. I was like,
Awesome.
please stop doing this to
Awesome.
me. You're
So
breaking
good.
my fucking brain. Like,
So
don't
good.
be that way.
I
Uh,
love it.
yeah,
I love it.
great game, great game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you let me know how Alan Wake is.
I will, I will. That'll
I'll
be I hope it's good. I really, really hope they bring it through and just using control as like a catapult essentially and just like making a home run of that. That'd be so good.
yeah. I
So,
hope it's as good as it could be. I'll say that.
right.
Um,
Right.
all right, cool. Moving on. Because we got a lot.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. It looks. You know what? Same as Breath of the Wild. Same map. What the fuck? So stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Maybe there'll be an underground.
This is fucking DLC. Fucking. Yeah. Game looks like it looks like the last Spider-Man game, and I want to say that the one PS4 Marvel's Spider-Man whatever might
Mhm.
be, in my opinion, the best superhero game ever made. Uh, I
I
think it
think it might be.
I think it just captures the essence of the hero. The story is
Yeah.
solid. The gameplay is
Yeah.
just top notch. It looks great. It plays great. It's got the feel. Like it 100% has
Right.
the feel.
Yeah,
This game looks like it's gonna keep doing that, and you know, I I'm gonna buy it. So that's
for sure.
when I
Yeah,
saw that, I was like, oh. First off, in my fucking Zelda haze, I was like, oh, that's right, the PlayStation 5. I don't have one of those yet, and I was
you gotta
like,
get one
and that's a good reason to get one because I definitely want to
for
play
sure.
that game.
Yeah, imagine, yeah, you haven't experienced the haptic feedback,
I have not.
like triggers yet, and
Yeah.
I haven't played the Miles Morales game on PlayStation 5 yet.
Oh,
I
true.
probably won't. I probably won't play it personally. I saw a playthrough of it, but just thinking of it now,
I think
just
you
like
watched me play it, didn't you?
imagining uh, yeah, I did. That's right.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, I watched you play it. So yeah, just imagining how the swinging will feel or every little movement
Yeah,
with the triggers would feel with that will
that's
be something
true.
special for sure, I think. So, there's
Uh,
a lot. They showed a lot in that trailer.
yeah, it was like
Perhaps too much.
15 minutes long. It was like, but they did the same thing in the first game when they showed the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
the
for
helicopter
sure.
scene in the
Right,
first,
with
yeah,
the
which
negative
is
negative man, right?
yeah, negative
Is
man.
it?
It was so much fun. Even like when you play it, like it felt so good. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to explain, but yeah,
They nailed it for sure. Yeah,
yeah,
the Spider-Man experience. Yeah.
yeah. I think I 100% of that game like twice.
What
It's just too good.
wow, damn.
Yeah,
One of the coolest stories about the first game too is like gets like one of the devs, I think it was a dev, I could be wrong. One of the devs sitting down with one of the devs of Spider-Man 2, that game, who they got
yeah.
specifically the dev who designed the web swinging,
Oof.
and like him getting to play the new game and just being like, yeah, this is great. Just like eat
Yeah,
that pass, right?
I remember like because Spider Man's like my probably like my favorite hero, and I remember getting back in 2002 when I got my GameCube. I got two games with it. I got Super Smash Brothers, and I got Spider Man the
Spider-Man 2.
movie, the first one.
All right, okay.
And I was like, "This is so cool!" And like the webbing was ass. Like he was webbing like vertically straight into the sky, and just like his legs were
Yeah.
just running in the air like he was riding a bicycle. And that's how you webbed everywhere. It was horrible. The combat was like
Yeah.
fine, but you know it was whatever. The best part of that game was actually playing as a goblin. If you put in the code back in the day, we used to have cheat codes. You could just play as a goblin. You got the glider, super fun.
Yeah.
But when Spider-Man 2 came out, the big thing was like your web's actually like attached to architecture, and it makes a difference in
Right.
the motion and in the speed, how long your web is, all that stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
just
It
changed
was
the
that it
games.
was advanced.
Yeah.
It was advanced. And like we hadn't gotten like a solid Spider-Man video game experience until the new one. Till
Yeah. There were some like there were a few good ones. Ultimate Spider-Man was fine. There weren't like
oh, I completely forgot. I'm for context, I'm not super
yeah,
big on that stuff,
I'm a
so
fucking dork. Don't worry about it. Like there were some okay
you
ones.
Oliver's got you covered.
Yeah, I kept picking them up because I just like them, but like it never really got better as far as like the feel never felt as good as two until they remade or rebooted Spider-Man generally,
Mhm.
and and yeah, it was just like they why am I singing its praises? You all know that game is insanely good.
You
So
all know.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
2 is like a given. Like I'm just gonna get it. So
Right.
cool
Yeah.
to see
We
Craven
need
the
to
Hunter and
yeah,
uh,
Kraven the Hunter blow up the city of
yeah,
New
fucking
York.
yeah, again. Why is anybody there? It's just
Oh my
insane.
god, yeah.
Get out
Just
of there.
watching it with the ones, I'm just like, oh my god,
What is
why is anyone living there?
what is the benefit?
Why?
It's just so
There's literally armored trucks rolling around with PMCs, and they're sticking people up in the suburbs just with everyone out and
dude.
about.
In the
There's
last game,
helicopters blowing up the
dude,
harbor.
they literally had concentration camps. They had like
Oh
fucking
my
they
god, really?
dude. There was like there were not concentration camps. There were not okay, concentration camps,
Oh my
but they
god.
basically had like prisoner camps, like in like
Right, right.
Central Park. They're just
Okay.
like
Right.
you're a suspect, and it's just like what
What is
you would
going
you
on?
would think the city with the Avengers headquarters would be a little safe. It's the least safe.
Yeah.
Get the hell away from there.
The
Just
fuck, man? Like,
don't go.
where's the US government?
what
What
is the U.S. government like?
like, what is going on? The thing is for this standpoint is I've talked about it before, but the, these games look so realistic now. Like they just look better and better all the time. And like with that photorealism like injected into it now, it's just so hard for me to disconnect realism, like real rational, logical thought with what is presented to me on the screen because literally like they showed off in Spider-Man that gameplay trailer and just like another 9/11 happened essentially and it's just like what the fuck man, like what is going on? Craven the Hunter is just hunting Spider-Man and he's just blowing up the city like holy shit.
Yeah,
Talk about being subtle.
like who wants to be a cop in New York
I
City? Like,
not
nah,
me, fuck
I'm
that
good.
dude. Right?
Forget
Unless
that.
I'm RoboCop.
Oh yeah, that's a story of happiness and success. That guy, yeah, it was,
Yeah.
nothing bad ever happened to RoboCop.
Oh gosh. Fuck,
Totally
man.
above board, RoboCop.
God damn.
Yeah. Anyway, Spider-Man
God
2.
damn.
Yeah, we're gonna play it.
I looked at yeah, it would be exciting.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, back to a game I'm not gonna play. Go ahead.
Never.
I've never.
Neva.
I don't know.
Or I don't know. We didn't get a verbalization of how it was supposed to be said. So,
Oh,
it's a very
before we start this, I need to point out the fact that half the trailers just are uh, it's just cutscenes that just say not actual gameplay, uh, a
true. Yeah.
bunch of vague in-universe conversations that don't make any sense to anybody ever.
Thankfully, most of the games on our list, the games that we're most excited for, are games that showed gameplay,
Yeah, well that
and
helps.
yeah, it helps a bit to
just
be more excited for
just
something when
gotta
it's
point
just
that out.
gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
tell us what it is. Why would I buy it?
yeah.
I don't know. Why would I
Right.
care?
It is frustrating to get because like it was harped on so hard like when E3 was like still a thing
Yeah.
and when there was so few game trailers with no gameplay. Like it was so harped on back then, it still sucks to see that it's still kind of a thing
Just,
now
but
that
like,
game trailers
here's
with
a
no
great trailer.
gameplay.
Ah, it was a hard time on the surface. Da, 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 da. It wasn't easy, but we did it. Da, da, da. I think it's gonna be harder. Dun dun. June 2024. What the fuck are we talking about? This is a spaceship. There's a guy with a
No, it's
gun.
not
Like,
even the thing
oh,
is like when you get those, it's not even like a date. It's just
yeah,
like
it's a year.
next year.
Yeah.
Next year or like a fucking like winter. Like
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
no accurate date at all.
Okay. Like, no accurate date, vague story. Just it's a video
Right.
game. Okay, I
Probably
guess.
gonna get delayed.
Yeah. So, anyways, tell
So
me more about Neva.
never
That's how we're
there's
gonna
not
call it.
too much to say. There wasn't much to go off of. It is by the devs who made Gris. I enjoyed Gris. It's not a like I wouldn't say like it's an amazing title, but like personally like it was like one of those games that was like kind of like a right time right thing for me personally because I was going through issues with like personal traumatic issues in my life and this game kind of like visualizes that kind of trauma as far as like what the character's gone through and like there's a lot of visual storytelling and I usually gravitate towards that stuff a lot and just the art style is absolutely gorgeous and it seems to be like what that studio style of not using a lot of words to tell their stories or any words at all
Yeah.
and just like going off pure visuals and I'm interested in seeing what this one's gonna be like because the first game there was no combat; it was just platforming and puzzle solving, and that was it. Like, and this one seems the character's holding a sword. Potentially, it could be a side-scrolling combat game.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. There's not a whole lot on it just yet, but again, gorgeous art style. I'm interested.
Yeah.
So,
Um I
all
mean,
right,
if it does something significantly different from the last one, I'd probably check it out because I'm
right,
also
right,
very interested in good visuals and side scrolling
right.
action.
Hmm.
But I don't want to rehash how I felt about Greece or whatnot. So,
Right, right.
but
All right.
I'm interested to see more. I'll say that. Like,
Okay. All right.
like the designs already look cool. I mean, but it looks very much like, oh, I know who made this. Like, I didn't have to be told. I was like, I got this.
They have the style, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's also very cool because I think it's good for a studio to have like a visual language. I think that's kind of important.
Identity, yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Um.
It's cool to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
There'll be another game further down on the list, perhaps the last game on our list.
yes, that also has that kind of
A
thing.
very, very strong visual identity.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Next one on our list is Phantom Blade.
Phantom
Um.
Blade, yes.
Yeah. I think.
The Chinese dev.
Yeah.
Uh,
Chinese
and
dev
we
and
not really too sure. It's very flashy
yeah.
action game, but what not a lot of color to it.
Yeah. Very
It's
drab.
very gray. Yeah, very. But the animations were gorgeous and very, very well animated.
Yeah, it
Um,
feels like it looked like a cross between like Sekiro and like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like there's a lot of
right,
like
pretty much.
very over the
It's all
top
those
movements.
movements, right? Yeah,
Um,
it is.
if
It
it's
it is made by Studio Cruel Man or Cruel Man Studio.
yeah, I don't know if I'd
All
apply
right,
to a place like that, but I mean, hey, I mean, it's a little
you think they get benefits?
no.
Oh, read
um,
the name. They
yeah,
just point.
someone taps the sign. All right. Can I get the day
Really?
off? Tap the sign. All right, all right. Yeah, if it's not a Dark Souls like, I'd probably check that out. If it is, I'd be a
Yeah,
bit more.
we don't exactly know what kind of game it's gonna be just yet. It could be a Souls-like, could just be an
Yeah,
action slash 'em up kind of game. So
yeah.
we'll have to see. It could be a Ninja Gaiden type game. Who knows? I haven't
Oof.
seen one of those.
Isn't that basically the Souls type?
Essentially, kind of is, like the just
There's just no
difficult.
bonfire. Yeah,
Yeah, difficult. Clear the level, memorize how to kill everything.
yeah.
Basically,
I think the last one I played was 3 on the Wii U, and I was
oh
like,
no,
yeah, 20 minutes into that, I'm like, why did I buy this? I can't beat this.
you can't
This
even.
is hard.
Yeah,
I'm not enjoying myself.
yeah, right.
Yeah, it looks cool. Interested to see more. Um,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. This one I haven't played. Next one up is a sequel. You've played the
Yep.
original, so take it away, Mike. Tell me.
Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2 is that's gonna be a good one, man. I'm very excited. The first game was a top-down twin stick shooter with very unique and fun mechanics, and I'm excited to see how they transition into a third-person co-op shooter this time around. Um, I'm suspecting they're probably gonna do a live service model again because the first game was that it was like it had the standard like you can do bonus DLC purchases and you'd get a bunch of really overpowered stuff.
Okay.
And so um they're probably gonna do that again, probably more modernized, like they do the Game Pass type of stuff, and roll out have like a roadmap of like content drops, that kind of stuff. Because in the trailer they showed, they for the gameplay portion of it, they showed just fighting bugs. Like it's a Helldivers is very much just a tongue-in-cheek inspired,
Starship
more
Troopers
so,
type.
even more so tongue-in-cheek than Starship Troopers. Like
Okay.
the world is literally called Super Earth.
Yeah.
Like
That's so
so,
stupid. I was
so
like, I'm in.
yeah, you're a hell diver, and like these guys are like
Like
hugging
ODSTs,
while
right?
things are exploding. Pretty
Like
much ODSTs, but they wear capes. Like so you know, and yeah, and it's just very over the top and fun, and it's very grimy, and like the gore and stuff with the shooting bugs and making them explode. The one thing that I'll say that I noticed in this first gameplay trailer, because this game is supposed to release this year, later this year, is that they only showed the bugs, like attacking bugs, but in the first game, yeah, there was actually three factions that you fought against. There were cyborgs, and there were just aliens.
Okay.
Just straight up
Cyborgs.
like what's the faction called in like StarCraft?
The Protoss.
The Protoss. It was essentially that.
Okay.
So like you had a variety of like different like approaches to combat, I should say. Um, but the cool thing about the first game is they had the way missions were rolled out. You had like a persistent real world like 24-hour ticking clock on the map that would cycle missions based on progress of everyone playing online because that's how you had to play it. It was an online only game, and there was basically three quadrants based on which alien faction you're fighting against, and at the end of those like tiers were their home planets. Okay, so you would basically like as a community work your way towards their home planet to take it over and win the day, basically. So this would like cycle unique events and stuff like that. So like different like randomized upsurges of things and everything like that. It was a cool, really cool idea for like just a an online co-op shooter. So I'm excited to see what they do with this. I'm suspecting in Helldivers 2 that we'll only have the bugs to fight early on, and they'll probably, if they want to, unlock other factions as the game progresses uh down its lifespan, that they'll unlock the other races as well to fight against. That'd be really cool to see. But I'm gonna assume that it's just gonna be the bugs when the game launches.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that kind of experience. I've looked at the first game before. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
Want to, but yeah,
yeah, it would be awesome if we get to play that again.
yeah, for sure. All right, let me take a quick break. I gotta grab something at the door, and then
Okay,
we will continue.
all right.
All right, so we're back, and boy, this next one's a
I just
doozy.
I just smoked a pack of cigarettes and
Yeah.
drank a gallon of milk.
Oh, Jesus, what the
I'm ready.
that sounds horrible. Oh
I'm
my
ready
god.
to talk like Snake.
It's mostly the milk that concerns me. Why are you drinking so much milk, dude?
That's what David Andrews said. He said he drank milk and smoked cigarettes to sound the way he sounds for Snake.
I don't
I think that's a story. It
I
could
can
be
see the
the story.
cigarettes. The milk, maybe. I don't know. I don't. Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna talk about the Metal Gear news. Uh,
Metal Gear 3 was announced,
yeah.
a
Oh
remake,
God.
and
All
a
right.
collection of the original games
Do
for the PlayStation 5.
do we want to start positive or negative? How do we? I'll let you
Well,
call
let's
it.
do the collection. Let's talk about the collection.
Okay. Collection's great.
Um,
Uh,
Collection, I'm excited for that because again, I tried playing the collection, specifically Metal Gear 3 in the collection on the Xbox 360 years ago.
yeah.
Um, but I never got through it. That was right around the time when 5 was coming out
Hmm.
because um I played shoot, what is it called? The
Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes, thank you.
Mm.
I played Ground Zeroes, and that was my first Metal Gear, like actually playing Metal Gear experience. And I was like, "Wow, this is amazing!" and so, and that was before 5 came out. So I was just like, I needed a fix. So I
Yeah.
was like going down the gambit, and I played. I got the collection, so that included Metal Gear 3 and uh, Peace Walker.
Yeah.
I ended up playing through all of Peace Walker because I really liked that.
That
And
Paz and Chico.
Paz and Chico, yeah, that game was something else. Yeah, I really liked it. Um, I did not get very far in 3 though. I I I I,
Shame.
I fought the guy. I fought the pain.
The pain.
The pain. I fought him, and then I fought. Was that is the pain before or after you fight Ocelot the first time?
Um, pain is after you fight Ocelot.
Right, because you fight Ocelot and you
You,
fall down into the
the,
crevasse.
yeah, and then you, God, oh my God, that game's perfect. Anyways, yeah, you fight Ocelot first, and then you after this is after the virtuous mission. So this is Operation Snake Eater, right? You go back,
Mhm.
uh, and then you go into the cave, and then you swim out of the cave, and then on your way out, you run into the pain. He's just
I think
hanging
I
out.
did. I got out of the cave and I did get the crocodile hat.
I think that comes later.
Uh,
That's later when you're trying to uh go.
okay.
Okay, if you
I
can't
do
tell,
specifically remember
I
getting
have encyclopedic knowledge of this fucking
of
game.
course, yeah. Yeah,
This is
yeah.
I usually say Chrono Trigger is my favorite game. Yeah, and I think it's one of the best. But if I really like, I remember Chrono Trigger. I remember the story points. I love playing it, but I don't know anything in gaming probably better than Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
It came out at the peak time of my life, like high school, just enough money, just so much fucking time.
Yeah.
Not
And for yeah, go ahead.
it's just not like I don't know. The universe conspired to be like, this is what you will know. And I was like, I will know this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I bought it.
Oliver is the one who introduced me to Metal Gear because I didn't know anything about it.
Oh man,
And meeting him in college and like him asking me about Metal Gear and me saying that I don't know anything about it and just seeing that fucking flame in the back of his eye, I just, I just like, boy, do I have a story for you. And it's weird. He started smoking right then and
right
there.
there. Yeah, I puked out my cigarettes because I was holding in my stomach
That's
because I had
yeah, it
to
was
hide
weird.
them. I didn't want the doctors to know. I
I
really
was
wanted to
very
smoke
squeamish.
cigarettes. Yeah,
I couldn't
very.
hold back my lunch after I saw that, but he kept talking and telling me all about Metal Gear and Metal Gear 3.
Yeah, I think that game is it's definitely one of my favorites, but it's I think it might be Kojima's one of his best, and up to that point,
Mhm.
absolutely his best. Um,
Right.
it's the perfect blend of like tongue in cheek, self seriousness. Uh,
Yeah.
it's got really great themes. The music is fantastic in that
Oh my
game.
gosh.
The action gets like there's such a good balance between tension and action. The stealth is super fun in that game. Um, and it's especially subsistence, so the re-release of it with the full 3D camera movement and I mean, in my opinion,
That's right, because it was a fixed camera
yeah,
before,
it was
right?
a top-down camera just like
Yeah.
the other Metal Gears, which was
Wow.
really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had both, and when I played the subsistence version, you get this difficulty level called European Extreme, where you can't. It's game over if they see you. Not if you get an alert. Not if you get caught. If anybody sees you, game over. If you're in a line of sight, yeah, you're done. I beat that
And you
shit
beat that.
many a time, and it was awesome, and I
Yeah.
loved it. But that game, very much like Breath of the Wild and like Tears of the Kingdom, has that kind of uh, openness to approach, right? So you have a set
Mhm.
of problems, and they're pretty static in the way they handle it. You can adjust things. So, for example, if you're in an area and there's guards, well, the guards are going to have their patrol routes, but you can change those patrol routes depending on how you affect the environment around you. You can sabotage their food supplies. They're going to move slower. Their line of sight's going to be shorter. They're going to be distracted easily because they're going to be hungry and they're going to be complaining about it the whole time. So you're going to hear
Yeah.
them. You'll know where they are just like through
So
audio,
cool.
right? Because they'll be like, "Oh, I'm hungry." You'll hear
Yeah,
their
yeah.
stomachs and stuff. You can then poison them. You can throw old food at them, or in their general direction. They'll go pick it up and get sick and throw up, right? You can kill them that way. You can throw poisonous spiders or snakes, and they'll eat it out of hunger and die. And then you'll have to hide their
Yeah.
bodies and stuff. There's so many ways to approach these things, um,
So
and
cool.
and that's just like draped in international man of mystery, Cold
Yeah.
War era, like international.
Over the top characters.
It's like it's just perfect. Like I don't know how else to explain it. It's just so goofy but great. And when it's serious, and when it's dumb, it's so dumb, and it knows it's dumb. Um,
Yeah.
all the systems in place. It's just it's it's just it, man. If you haven't played it, you gotta at least try it. It's long,
I
but
think I think my introduction, like visually seeing that game, was watching Snake obsess over a Colt 45. just just like, oh my god,
yeah,
this is the best gun ever. Oh my god.
yeah, and just or when yeah with the like the personalization, like, oh, you filed the muzzle to blah blah blah, like, yeah,
Yeah,
better fits the grip and da da.
just by looking at the gun, he knows everything about it. Just
Yeah,
it's so funny.
and like this is the first time you get CQC, and that whole like that system of like I mean, like, yeah, I was talking to Liv about it yesterday, how like there there are ways you can just like grab a guard, hold them aside, interrogate them, get a frequency so you can call off searches that you can use in the future, right? So you can like,
Mhm.
there's so many layers on this PS2 game. Okay, there's so many systems that are working. They all work really well, and it looks great. It plays great. Just the best. So, if you if anything, that game alone is worth the collection. But of course, Metal Gear Solid One is great. Two is
I never
fantastic.
played that. Yeah, yeah. I'd be
Um,
curious to play those, give them a shot.
First Metal Gear is
Especially if
kind of
with
hard.
you coaching me, Oliver. I
I'm
need you to be coach
100%.
me.
I'm in. I will tell you exactly what you need to do. Don't worry about it. I like two.
Okay.
I'm a little less familiar with. I've played it. I like it, but my it's three is just chock full of like not just secrets, but like tactics. I guess two is a bit more like closed up.
Mm.
Um, yeah, the definitely looking forward to that collection, and it's a volume one, so it kind of leaves you to think there's going to be a volume two at least.
Okay.
And I could see probably like Peace Walker, um, probably not portable ops, but what do they
Oh,
care?
dude,
Kojima's not
dude, if
there,
they,
so
bro, if they put Peace Walker on PS5,
yeah, we're playing that.
bro,
We're playing that. Like
bro,
we're gonna
we are
multiplayer.
gonna
We're gonna hunt that
do, we are
Rathalos,
gonna,
dude.
dude, we gotta find two other people because we gotta do the fucking combined super
Of
weapons. Like,
course, yeah. There's
oh my
no,
god, the
I
human slingshot.
Mike, this is it. This is it. Like,
That's
what
the
did I say?
game,
I
man.
said Spider-Man 2 was gonna get me a PS5. No, fucking Metal Gear Solid 3 is gonna get me a PS5. Okay,
That's right.
Peace Walker is gonna
Better
get me a
get
PS5.
Peace
Fucking
Walker, yeah,
Solid
man.
Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake is gonna get me a PS5. These
Please.
fucking
God
MSX
damn.
games. But
Yeah.
but then I saw, yeah, well, we all saw the trailer for the remake, and
That's right. It was interesting because, like, just for a real quick
yeah,
intro for that is I was watching the trailer because like they're doing this fully CG, no gameplay at all of this going through it and just like I think it was like following a bird,
it was like an
killed an
ant.
insect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
ant got killed by a bird, and then the bird's flying, and then you hear gunshots and war happening. I was like, gunshots and war. And then one of my buddies I was watching this with is like, ah, it's got to be like the Metal Gear 3 thing. It's like, there's a Metal Gear 3 thing. Because I had no idea because I
yeah,
don't follow the leaks, but apparently there's murmurs of a Metal Gear 3 remake in the
yeah,
works. And as soon as it's like it's closing in on the mangroves and after because this was after like you see the crocodile take out that fish.
yeah. The
And
Cayman.
it's just like and it's closing on the mangroves. It's just like, oh, then it's absolutely Metal Gear 3. It's like you see Snake walk out. It's like, yeah, there it is. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all we got really for remake standards. But no actual gameplay.
Nope.
We can't base the visuals on anything because
Anything.
it's all CG. Basically just a confirmation that it's happening.
Right.
Um,
So yeah, I with that in mind, I should reserve as much judgment as possible.
mhm.
But I
Yeah.
as much as I
It's a
can.
tough one. I understand, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, but like again, like we talked about it before, but it's just I I I'm I want to see those systems in a modern game from Metal Gear 3 because like for some reason it's just so hard to find in another game. Just those just the layer upon layer of these like combat scenario type stealth gameplay stuff and just like being a lone soldier a lone special operations soldier, nonetheless, and like just like you don't get that experience in a lot of games. Like there's ideas and like stuff that's tossed around. They tease it, but they don't
Yeah.
go into it.
Right.
They
Right.
don't deliver you that same experience that Metal Gear 3 gave you so many years ago. Like, and it's just like, why can't they just do this? Why does nobody else like this game enough to try to emulate it to this level? Like, I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
So on that merit, I'm excited to see if they could I would hope that they would do that for a full-on remake. If they're gonna call it a remake, be a fully realized, updated version of that game, to get those systems back into a game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's being made by Konami, so
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. So the biggest concern is that it's not a Kojima game. So now I'm
it's
like,
not.
what exactly should we expect? And they said they're getting the voice actors back. I'm like, that's cool, fine.
Yeah.
Their story's not changing. I'm like, well, I'd hope not. Like that's kind of why would you? Why would I can't believe you even have to say this. Like, but yeah, you shouldn't change the story.
Yeah.
Um, but also I think the my biggest concern is that like if it runs on something like the Fox engine, then we're gonna get a more open ended kind of world, an open worldish more uh type of experience. And
Mm,
Metal Gear 3 isn't that. It
right.
simulates some of that, but it ain't that.
Right.
It's not really about
It's
hunting
levels.
animals,
It has
right?
levels,
Yeah.
so
It's
yeah.
not yeah, there's corridors, there's maps. It's not about like
Mhm.
you need stamina, right? So you hunt a frog
Right.
or whatever. But it's not like it's not a survival game. There are survival elements, right? It's not and 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 they're the survival elements are more less about like giving you like the ability to continue playing. It's more about giving you tools to approach different situations, right? So there's
Mhm.
certain things like I know I've seen people play specifically keeping themselves hungry because the growling of their stomach will attract will attract soldiers.
Yeah.
And then they'll use that to their advantage. Like there's things you can do, right? And I think that's
Right.
how the survival elements are implemented. I I worry that I'm going to see a stamina bar or a hunger bar or whatever, and it's just going to be like, well, if you don't do this, you can't, which is true. That's also
Right.
part of it. Like when you're hungry, you can't aim right. When you look down the sights, you get real shaky. There's a
Right.
lot of shit that goes on. So, but I should reserve judgment. I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Am I gonna buy it? Probably,
Yeah.
probably. But
Probably.
I mean, I'm the guy who's still like, hey, Metal Gear
I mean,
Survive ain't that bad.
the game's like 2, 3 years out probably still, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got like again, we got nothing
nothing. Yeah,
really
just a
other than
CG.
a confirmation.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean, yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
But I'm also, I don't like remakes generally. Like, I don't like the idea behind them as much. Like, in my mind, games are very
It
much
is trending.
yeah.
It is
I
trending
feel
a lot.
like
Oh,
games are a time and a place, and a
yeah.
system, and a console, and it's a reaction to things. I mean, like Metal Gear Solid 2 wouldn't work today because it Metal Gear Solid 2 is pre-social media, and fucking it predicted basically social media and social unrest due to the amount of information and misinformation that gets distributed. Blah blah. Like those things are important, right? Like
Mhm.
the context matters. Um, I guess the context doesn't really matter for Resident Evil 4. Who gives a shit, But when
Well,
there's
the thing is that they just made that story better. They made it an actual
well,
story, so
yeah,
that was good.
but
That was a good remake.
I think like there's one thing when you want to um when you want to update like mechanics and stuff. I think that's kind of interesting. But I
Yeah.
also I don't like the idea of like, oh, it'd be really good if this game was in 4K. Like I don't that doesn't really matter to me. Like I don't want
Mhm.
Super Mario World in 4K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want Mario 64 in the Unreal 5 engine. That it's just
Yeah, of course. Like
unnecessary. Like
those games have styles, of course, yeah.
yeah, but it's just also
Well,
like what the benefit is only that you feel good about having a high end, high fidelity thing, but it doesn't really affect what there's no real positive or no real uh it's not addressing any real
application.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, there's no real application. Like it's not addressing a problem that the game had. It's just like, oh, this is. I just like shiny things. It's like, well, I don't know if that's worth.
Oh
Like,
well, I mean, I get like the Mario like Nintendo has very distinct style, right? We don't need like the flashy,
yeah,
realistic stuff, but like like I would argue for like Metal Gear 3 specifically, like Metal Gear is set in like the real world.
yeah.
The like Metal Gear 5 is a good looking game. Uh, Ground Zeroes is even better looking.
Oh, Ground
Like
Zero is so good, so good.
those games Kojima pushes like visual
For sure,
fidelity
for
in his
sure.
games,
And
like Death
animation and
Stranding as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so like I feel like the visual aspect of remakes can be applied to Metal Gear pretty easily as
Maybe.
far as like just like updating that visual look. Like again, like if you or not again, just to add on to it as if you were to remake 1 and 2 like just as like a remake, those would just be a full on have to be remake game, right? Like those would have to be essentially just different games with the same name, in my opinion nowadays.
Mm,
Uh,
maybe.
like sure you could do a faithful remake or it's top down and all that stuff, but like uh, there's really no point in doing that.
Kind
There's
of.
no point in like it
Yeah,
would
there,
have
there.
to be like its own game,
Yeah, it would have. It
just
would.
like a different game
Agreed. Yeah, it'd have to be its own
with the
thing
same
because
story.
you'll start to see like the seams right of that tapestry. You'll start like Metal Gear Solid 1 with like a 3D camera is not a is a very easy game suddenly, right? That is a
Yeah,
if you can see all the way in front of you, there is no problem. Like there
right.
is none. Um
The camera is a part of the
yeah,
mechanics.
the limitations that are put on the
Yeah.
player are definitely a part of it. And 3 has not the least amount of limitations as the other ones, but it has a lot more tools to deal with the limitations. 4, I think even maybe more so, but you don't have to you're more concerned with the environment in 3 as you are you're like in 3 you're more concerned with using the environment to your advantage, where at 4 in 4 it is your advantage. Like the whole thing is your
Mhm.
advantage. You're not worried about the static elements of the environment, you're worried about the dynamic elements of the environment, the firefights, the troop movements that can change on a whim. It's a totally different experience. um but like when I think about like 5, like what do you do when you're in trouble in 5? You just leave, right?
Yeah,
And so like when I think about 3, it's like, well, you can't leave. You're I mean, you can, but they follow you and the alert
right.
stays and the alert lasts for fucking ever. So you better have like a
Yeah.
good escape plan or you better deal with the problem. Like I can't imagine just like
Yeah, I don't I would hope they wouldn't like just give you that much freedom for 5 because again, yeah, I do agree and that 3 remake should be have the same map design philosophy installed in,
yeah.
even if like the areas are bigger or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
A lot more to mess around in with, like if they're gonna push like the visual fidelity of it, like then it would appear more realistic. The bases would be laid out more realistically, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, uh, uh, the most I could hope for out of it would is essentially be take like ground zeros and like cut that map up into sections, and that be like how you would like design levels for 3 remake. So
Yeah.
uh, just yeah, still keep it to levels essentially, not just a big open world where you get to pick and choose where you want to go kind of thing.
Right. I mean, well, again, we'll see. I don't it's no Kojima, so I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm not we should reserve judgment. We talked about it too much for a game that we
Yeah.
know nothing about.
Right.
I'm just saying it's my favorite
We're
game of all
excited for
time.
the
Don't fuck
collection.
with it. Yeah, I'm gonna play that collection, uh, and we're gonna play together. It's gonna be great. And I really hope
That's
the
right.
Volume 2 has Peace Walker because holy hell, I never got to
Please.
do the multiplayer with anybody.
Oh,
because
dude, me neither.
nobody was a
So
psycho like I
excited.
was when I had it for the PSP. Dude, I used to literally go get into people's Wi-Fi so I can. Did you know you could get like you can get randomized soldiers to join your army based on like the MAC address of whatever Wi-Fi you're like.
I think
That's
sounds familiar.
it is
That's
great.
fucking
You
awesome.
could even use a GPS. There was a GPS attachment for the PSP. You could use that to get soldiers in the fucking real world, bro.
That's so cool.
Out of hand. Anyways, love
Yeah,
love
man.
Metal Gear. All right, we still have that was half the list.
Yeah.
uh,
All right.
let's go to the
Well,
next
yeah.
one.
Final Fantasy 16 that comes out
Yeah,
very soon. That's
very soon.
the game that comes out the soonest out of this whole list.
Yep.
Uh, uh, I'm excited for it. I've gone dark on as far as social media. I didn't even watch what was shown at the event. I just didn't watch it because I don't want to see anymore. Because like I've seen enough. I'm gonna play the game, so I don't need any more context, and I'm far enough removed now from what I saw before that I've probably forgotten about most of it. So,
I'll be
um,
totally honest with you. Like,
yeah,
I didn't learn anything new watching it.
yeah,
It was just more of what you've seen. A lot of
okay,
vague talk, a lot of like the
okay,
kingdom, the crystals, blah blah blah, and
yeah,
then a lot of like
uh,
Devil May Cry. I'm like, this is fucking cool,
yeah.
and that was it. Like,
Yeah, for sure, man. Like the combat is drawing me in. I've never played a Devil May Cry game, but I'm not like super into like the combo mashing games,
mm,
but they're always visually amazing. And I think this might be this could potentially be a game that actually gets me into more of that type of stuff because bridging the gap with Final Fantasy could be a really good combo.
yeah,
Because I think they literally did get like the Devil May Cry guy to design the combat in this game, right? I'm pretty sure that's
maybe
the guy on the team. But it's led by Yoshi P, renowned game dev of like Final Fantasy 14.
Yoship,
Um,
if you're his friend.
Yoshi,
That's what we call
oh
Yoshi.
God, I don't think that's a.
Fact check me, somebody.
I
Somebody in the
think they
back, can you
call him
fact check?
Yoshida.
I don't listen. I don't know what you're talking about, right? Just take my word for it. Yeah, we're gonna buy that
Uh,
eventually, right? We'll play through those. That looks cool.
I'm definitely gonna pre-order it because they're at PS5. But
Looks better than
um,
15. I'll tell you that much.
oh yeah,
God.
yeah. That's one of the coolest things. That like if anyone listening knows about Yoshi P, Yoshi P absolutely loves Final Fantasy's fantasy, like fantasy ass fantasy look, like the classic Final Fantasy look.
Fantasy
Specifically
ass
like
fantasy.
the exactly. It's the new Zoomer
Oh,
title
oh God! Stop it.
genre.
Uh,
Fantasy ass fantasy.
I
You know what you're getting.
I don't know anything anymore. God
Uh,
damn it. Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's a fantasy ass fantasy boomer shooter, right?
Stop it.
So, yeah, the guy talks about how much he loves uh, Final Fantasy 12, um, and that world, and he loved it so much he put it in Final Fantasy 14. So
Right.
it speaks a lot to why this new game looks the way it does, and it's such a huge departure from what would the previous Final Fantasy games were, where it was just like this. It's still Final Fantasy world, but everything's modern, and we're driving cars,
Ugh.
and
Ugh.
the airships were always cool, but
Yeah.
yeah, they just like like the Garland like tech of like
Yeah.
these super duper huge like airships and everything.
Yeah, I mean, Final
Uh,
Fantasy's always been that like high fantasy mixed with sci-fi, kind of like
right,
magic fueling machinery type thing.
right,
That's always been
Magitech.
cool.
And
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, I'm not into the fucking road trip, man. I'm cool. I don't,
yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to make curry. It's not why I'm
and
in
you
a
know
Final
like
Fantasy game.
I think they're trying to like people like Final Fantasy 7 a lot, right? So that
Do
was
they?
just like its
Yeah.
own thing. So
All right.
um,
So we're gonna get it.
but yeah, 16, excited for it, gonna play it.
Definitely. All right,
Next
next on the
game,
list, after after what am I saying? Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, that's right. Yeah. I'm lukewarm on it. I'll see because like I've been burned so many times by uh Ubisoft and their Assassin's Creed titles that I'm a fucking like third degree burn patient at this point. It's uh
Yeah,
I I liked the first game Assassin's Creed without like that whole thing, the twists, because I don't even know if people remember that game had a twist.
the aliens and shit. The
No, no, like the first game was the fact that you didn't even know that it was a machine that you were
Oh,
in.
that's
Like
right.
when they were teasing that game, they're
Yeah.
only showing the assassin part, and you're just like, okay, you're this, you're Altair, you're an assassin in this time period, and during the Crusades, and all these things is so interesting. But at the end of every little trailer, there's some little weirdness to it,
Yeah.
and you didn't know exactly what it was until the game came out. I was like, "Oh shit, this is so cool!" It's a moment of in time where it's just like you don't really get that shit too much anymore, where you get surprised by games unless you're completely dark on them. But
Yeah.
back then, they just played with you as far as like what the game is gonna deliver to you.
Right.
So that shit was really cool.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 2 was like insane. Like
Yeah.
they added so much, too much.
Too much.
A second blade.
Do you remember there was a horse in that game?
Yeah, yeah, there's a horse in the first game too.
Yeah, but I like not just a horse, sorry. There's a horse and a town you have to rebuild and all this shit. Like,
Oh, that's right, with your cousin Mario.
yeah.
It's a me.
Yeah, him and good old Da Vinci just hanging out,
That's right. Yeah,
coming up
yeah,
with
of
shit.
course.
How,
Everybody knows each other.
how convenient.
Also,
Yeah.
Da Vinci, like, oh yeah, you don't have to cut your finger off anymore.
Yeah,
That was
hey,
weird.
dummy, what are you doing? Why just
That's
no,
stupid.
why would you lose your finger?
Trying to ditch that idea immediately.
Yeah, but this one looks like a like
It kind of looks like a return to form a
yeah, it
little
looks like an
bit.
Assassin's Creed game. I'm like, yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah,
I'm into
yeah.
it. I'll check it out maybe.
I don't know anything about it other than what we saw in the trailer. I know ridiculous story elements from other games that have involved this character that you're getting to play as for the first time.
Yeah, you mentioned
But
something about Atlantis, and I'm like, get me the
yes,
fuck out of here already. Like,
yes. So
I don't know.
the games get wild. I'm actually all down for them getting absolutely stupid with the story because it wasn't necessarily highbrow before because there are aliens involved and like like essentially the precursors and
But
everything
that
like that.
no,
So
hold on. I'm gonna fight you on that. Okay.
okay,
Because the
all
first
right,
one was like, this is cool, like future tech, looking into like your
yeah,
genetic history, all this really interesting
yeah,
stuff.
that was neat. That was
The
cool. Yeah,
second one, you fight the fucking Pope on top of the Vatican, and it turns out he's being manipulated by aliens who can fucking time travel or something. I don't know, but they spoke directly to you, not
they
even the person
they they speak
experiencing
through
it.
DNA
Yeah,
essentially.
fucking awesome. And then
It was very cool.
I don't know what happened after that. I was a pirate. That was great. Love being
That
a
was cool,
pirate.
but it was basically like such a side tangent too. But like
The
the
best
story
tangent.
in that game wasn't good. I don't think it was that good.
No.
Black Bart was kind of just like he's just a super dick. Like that was like he's just a fucking asshole, and that's his whole
Yeah,
character.
but you know
And
what?
he betrays you. He's a pirate. I get that, but
Yeah.
then also he's in the present time too. So
Hey,
because of
you
the
just
DNA manipulation.
you said the words Atlantis to me. I'm done. All right, like fine. Let him do whatever. I don't care. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't. Yeah, whatever, whatever, whatever.
I'm surprised I still fucking remember that shit
Um,
from Black Flag.
Black Flag. Yeah,
Uh,
the combat was so much fun. Anyways,
it was
I'll
fun.
check this game out if it's maybe. I don't know. I never get
Yeah,
hype about these. I'm like, ugh,
I wanna like Assassin's Creed again.
yeah, same.
I'm always tantalized by the and excited for like the concepts that they present to you, like just teasing with the idea that they're going before the Assassin's Order was even made, and just like playing around like just you're in Greece during the Iliad essentially, and just like that's such a cool backdrop. That's such a cool concept because you never get that in games.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has like this, like that's essentially what they've turned Assassin's Creed into, is like the best like what if game that you could possibly have, and like, okay, you're a legionnaire in this time period, go, and there you go. But the thing is, they just like they pad it out with so much, and it's too much, and it's just like it's so overbearing, and it's just like the experience gets washed out by all this stuff, and that yet you see all the effort that they put into these games, and it's just like, damn it, why can't they just condense it down into a solid experience, yet spread it out over just hundreds and hundreds of hours of that you're expecting people to fucking put into this game? It's just like, oh man,
It's Ubisoft, man.
please.
It's Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's just,
I'll tell
I
you
don't
what.
know.
We need to come back.
Yeah.
Spartan Total Warrior. That was it.
Yes.
Didn't get better than that. Fucking
I
hang out.
introduced you to that game,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
think I did.
You did, yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
that game was dope.
Archimedes. Hanging out with
Yeah.
Archimedes. I don't need Da Vinci. I got Archimedes. What are you talking about?
Go to the tomb of Achilles.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you get his spears. It's so. Oh god,
That
that
was
game is
so
so
cool.
fucking good. Anyways,
That was one of the, because that wasn't that a PlayStation 2 game?
yep.
That
The
was a PlayStation
PS2,
2, right?
GameCube, Xbox.
That was one of the games I remember where it was so fucking cool to see your character go from rags to fucking
Yeah.
just decked out. Just the coolest motherfucker. Because that was because they it was during the hype of like 300,
Mm-hmm.
the movie, and yeah, so Spartan hype was really dope,
And
and
Halo, right? So you had the
yeah,
Spartans and all that.
that's right. Yeah, and yeah, that was a that was a cool ass game. They should someone should just make a new game. Like,
Someone should. Sega, get on it. They own the
get
Total War,
on.
right?
They do, yeah. They
Yeah.
still make those games.
Didn't they just announce one? Like Egypt or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
That'd be cool though.
I'm in. All right, next one.
All right.
Next.
Vice is on the list. I just noticed.
Stupid.
He snuck it in. Home stars.
Oh boy, it's a
Oh my
runaway hit. Foam Star.
god.
Why is that there? Why are we?
Oh
Why are
my
we doing
god.
this?
What a game tease. So
Oh
they
god.
the cinematic part of this trailer, they show all these characters, which teasing like it's gonna be a character shooter, which it still is.
Is it? I
But
guess.
like they all these guys, like this guy revs up a fucking minigun and then bubbles start shooting so,
It's so
and then they
dumb.
cut to like this like really weird like Splatoon inspired like combat where you're just like building the level with bubbles and just I don't know. I don't really know what the goal was.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you can kill people with bubbles. So,
you can kill people with enough bubbles. I'm sure
oh,
there's a
geez, you're
recorded
probably
bubble
right.
death somewhere in history.
Guinness is on
Yeah, for sure.
it. Oh man. So yeah,
um,
foam stars.
yeah, yeah, folks. I don't. I'm not gonna play that, but
Yeah, me neither.
Square Enix game. Um, I don't. I don't.
And it looks like it's a game that's just gonna be a meme. So
It does. It looks. Yeah, I don't. Also, it's just. Well, it goes with some of the other games. There's another game they mentioned they showed that's not on our list that was like looked like some adventure game where you're rebuilding a place or something. I don't they're all super vague. But you're like rebuilding a lost city or something, and then at some point the character jumps off a ledge and it just whips out a glider. And I'm like, all right, are we just gonna rip off all the
no,
fucking
that's
Nintendo
right.
games? Like,
Yeah, that's right. I
um,
forgot about that one. Yeah.
uh, and also, it's not on the list, but we could talk about it if you want. The Wii U expansion to the PlayStation 5. Did
Wait, what?
you didn't see
I
that?
didn't. I didn't see that. Oh, that's the little
The
screen thing,
screen,
right?
yeah. It's
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was
yeah,
dumb.
everybody I guess the Wii U's
Yeah.
cool now, huh? I guess we're all for it. Fucking
Yeah, I think it's because it's you could just play it remotely, right?
right,
Like
yeah.
it's what they wanted it to be a Switch essentially,
I
but
guess, I
like
guess yeah.
your PS5 is still the powerhouse. It's
Right.
essentially streaming the
Streaming the
game
game
to
to you. Yeah.
this weird, really awkward looking controller.
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
it's a PS5 controller cut in half. So it's
It's like
stitched up.
Zelda. You just
Stitched.
glue the ends to a fucking screen, and then you're dead.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Foam Stars. I don't. I'm not playing that.
It's probably gonna be a free to play game if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, next. Here's
Resident
another one I'm
Evil
not gonna
4
play.
VR.
Yeah, I can't play that.
Yeah, we can't play that. Yeah, I'm not gonna dump a bunch of money.
Fucking VR. Nah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Um,
I'd love to. If
same.
anyone wants to donate their PlayStation VR, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, once
But
that tech is more affordable and like affordable enough that I can try it out and not like
yeah,
and not feel bad about selling it or whatever. Like if it's not gonna break the bank, then I'll check it out. But for now,
for
it's like
sure. Yeah,
also I don't. There's no like killer apps. There's nothing like I already played Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. Close enough.
yeah.
I got the motion controls. I'm good.
I did play Resident Evil 4 VR, like the original one that was
Oh
on
right.
the
Oh right. This
Oculus.
is a second VR Resident Evil 4 game. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah, it's the remake now. It's on VR, but it's specifically only for the PlayStation VR set. So that sucks. If it was on Oculus, I'd definitely give it a try. But yeah, the RE4 on VR was actually really dope. I liked that a lot. That was a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
it's a game I wish we could both experience and play.
Yeah. All right.
So
Uh,
yeah,
coming up on the end here, we got Dragon's Dogma. I put them together because uh,
okay.
I don't know much about either of them.
Dragon's
Uh,
Dogma 2. It looks
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, it looked cool. A
It
lot of
look
cat
it
people.
looks like in Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
that's
like
right. They did show
startling.
that a little bit.
I was like, holy
You know,
shit!
yeah.
What the? Who's this
I'm
like cheetah
pretty sure
lady?
that was. I'm pretty sure that was not in the first game. So,
Was it okay? I don't know.
and I don't think that was in the first game at all.
I was like, damn. That was everyone's just
Yeah.
cool with this. Okay, whatever. Like,
Um, yeah, Dragon's Dogma one was it's a cool ass game, but it had a lot of development issues.
yeah,
Um, but the devs came through and added an expansion pack onto it, and that's a pretty damn good, solid experience over the base game. And yeah, it's just a really good action RPG. It does a lot of things games still just don't do, and almost the same vein as like Metal Gear 3 does for games as far as like unique mechanics.
hmm.
Like you can just toss someone in this game in Metal and in Dragon's Dogma. You could just if you're a bigger person and you're strong enough, you could just pick up a smaller person and just fucking huck them. Just toss them. And you could just toss them onto a monster, or if they're annoying, you could just throw them down a flight of stairs. Like
Oh,
you just,
okay.
yeah.
What?
So might have might
All
have
right.
just
Well,
outed myself a
this
little bit.
this yeah, maybe. Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna I have
Listen, there's a jester in the game. He's the worst. Okay.
oh, okay. I don't know if you want me to play this or not. You're weirding me out here. You're sending so many weird signals.
I think you should absolutely experience
Okay.
Dragon's Dogma.
Okay. I have it. I have it on my
Yeah.
PS4. I've just
Yeah.
never played it. So
No.
I plan to after Tears of the Kingdom. I think that'll be like my sink into game
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
while
That'll be a good one to go off of too, because there's some cool, nice twists and turns that you can even liken to how Breath of the Wild plays out.
okay.
Not story wise or anything, just how the map is made. So some cool stuff in Dragon's Dogma. I won't spoil for you, but
All right.
the one of the coolest things about that game is the class system in the game because kind of like Final Fantasy 14, you can be every class,
Okay.
but you have to train it. You have to level it up essentially by in combat and by achieving certain goals that
Hmm.
the list is given to you. So, but then you can combine things, combine your classes into special classes. So,
Ah.
like if you're a little bit into like wizardry, or and you're a ranger or an archer, you can combine that into becoming a magic archer essentially, and
Oh,
then you get
okay.
a weapon. You get a unique weapon that is just dope. You get a magic bow that has no string because it's now a magic infused weapon and you shoot magic arrows. And you basically hold up a lock on reticule now as you're like targeting reticule, and you just target every point on the monster, and then you just shoot them with magic arrows. It's one of the coolest damn things. It's so cool.
Yeah. Okay. So
Um,
I dabble in wizardry and archery, but together
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
unstoppable.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Or you can go into like the straight paths as well. Like if you want to like become like the master class of like an archer and become a ranger, then you can do that. And a ranger is just a buffed up archer,
Hmm.
or like magic, and like I think it branches off into healing magic and destruction magic. I could be mistaken. That
Oh,
memory might be
white and black
overwritten with
mages. Yeah.
right, essentially, yeah. So yeah, it's got a very cool, very, very very cool character progression system in that game that you just don't see that really applied to a lot of action RPGs in that specific type of way. Because there's so many ways you can apply it to combat as well, which is really cool. One of the things that is still very unique to Dragon's Dogma is you can climb up monsters and onto large enemies. So like there's a Cyclops, he's got a big weak point, but you're a melee person, you gotta climb up that Cyclops and stab him in the eye. So that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
This sounds
Or if
great.
there,
I gotta do
yeah,
this.
if or there's a griffin, you could jump on the griffin and then ride the griffin around until he like stab his wings to get him to crash into the ground, that kind of stuff.
Oh my God. All right. Well,
It's
look
really
forward to my review of Dragon's Dogma.
hell yeah, dude.
It's gonna be called "I
It's
Dab in
interesting. It's
Wizardry."
all
I,
right.
it's a little.
All right.
I
Good
dip my
choice. Good
toe
choice.
into I don't know archery.
I know one last little tidbit on Dragon's
Yeah,
Dogma.
go ahead, man.
I love the game. I love the game.
Apparently, yeah.
Uh,
Jeez.
so one thing that is still like that, I dude, it boggles my mind that you just don't see it in RPGs, especially fantasy RPGs, or just RPGs in general that allow you to create your own character. Um, even if they do let you do it, it has an actual mechanical application in this game. And what I'm talking about is size and weight of your character has an application to this game. So you can make your character very tall, but then they can't fit into certain places anymore. And only small characters can do that now. So you can have a small person in your party to switch to and go and do that. But once but you have your advantages as a taller person because you weigh more, and then you won't get knocked around as much. That kind of stuff. So like, or if you're a big fat guy, like you could do that, and then you're just sturdy as hell. You can't be knocked around, and you can have more health. So like,
Okay. That is
it's
pretty
just it's
interesting.
yeah, you don't see that in like nothing, and it's
Yeah.
so frustrating. Like God, it's such a cool game. But
So
yeah,
look
so
forward to
yeah, that's
Dragon's
Dragon's Dogma.
Dogma coming out on the
The thing is that
PS3.
got me excited for
Sorry.
Dragon's Dogma
Is
2
this your
is the
Metal
fact that
Gear, dude?
it just looks like Dragon's Dogma, but more. It
Okay.
just looks like the original game, but fully realized. It's just fantastic.
I've
It's
never
all I
heard
can
anybody
ask for.
talk up Dragon's Dogma so much, to be honest. So,
Really? Oh
yeah.
man,
I
yeah,
usually hear like,
yeah.
it's kind of weird. You're like, okay,
It is weird. It is a weird game.
okay, all right.
So, but
As a
yeah.
Monster Hunter fanatic, how do you think that'll fit in? Like, should
Oh,
it?
dude, it's perfect.
Oh, well, there you
Yeah,
go.
if you like Monster Hunter, you'll love Dragon's Dogma for sure. It has the Capcom uh jank. It has everything about it like
Playful.
just it's a really cool Monster Hunter type like game, just with way more RPG mechanics involved with character progression and all that stuff.
Okay.
Monster hunting isn't like the core crux of it. It is just a part of it, but yeah, it's really cool and difficult. It is a very difficult game.
Okay. Well,
especially in the beginning.
well, well, well. Look forward to the
Get back
stream
to it.
when I start playing that
Yeah,
shit.
hell yeah.
Okay. And then
All
you want to
right.
talk about Grand Blue Fantasy? It's coming out. I don't know anything about it.
I'm the complete inverse of Dragon's
Dragon's
Dogma.
Dogma.
It looks cool. It looks neat. I'll look forward to it when it comes.
Okay. Sure. I've seen ads for it on the trains. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a game I've seen teasers for years
Mhm.
about. I mean, it's just never been like brought over to the West, so
Okay.
I've never been able to play it. But I'm looking forward to if they play it if it's not an inconvenient time to play it.
Yeah.
I'll play it.
Okay. And then let's close this up because we're going for a bit. The
Yeah.
last good one, the one I'm probably looking forward to the most,
Same.
maybe.
I would say I'm also looking forward to this the most as well because I was not expecting it,
Me neither.
and just like when the trailer started, just that one frame of the
Yeah,
character, and
I
it's
knew
just
it.
like that's it,
I knew
that's
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, shit, the Journey guys are back.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
Sword of the Sea.
Sword of the Sea. It looks like the Journey guys are back, and
Yeah,
ladies. I'm sure there are
yeah,
ladies too. I'm sure
yeah, yeah,
it looks like the next one, and I'm
yeah,
in
dude.
for it. I'm totally
It looks
here.
like they're combining the elements of the previous games, right? Like they've
Yeah.
done Journey and they've done Abzu and
Yeah, I
the Pathless as well, but we haven't played that yet. But we are gonna play that
right.
when we
Yeah,
get it.
we were talking about it yesterday. It's like, oh, that's something we just kind of skipped over. We should
Yeah, the
definitely check
media
out.
didn't cover it really, and just
Yeah.
we're
Shame.
busy, so
Well, maybe it's a shame. I don't know. We'll find out.
we don't know anything about it. Yeah,
Yeah. So we'll definitely be checking
um,
that out too. But
but yeah,
yeah.
Sword of the Sea looks fantastic.
Yeah, there's not much to say
Looks
because it's like we just
visually
saw a lot of
gorgeous.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I that's another one I might just go blind. I don't want to see
yeah,
any more.
I absolutely want to go blind for
Yeah,
sure.
so
Because it's
that
probably, if it's anything like those previous games, it's probably not a super long experience. So like,
right.
what you want to get in it and just experience it for sure.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, that's it. That's PlayStation, everybody. The
yeah,
innovation,
cool event.
foam stars, big highlight. Uh,
Yeah,
Alan Wake
yeah.
is probably doing something. Uh,
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's one of the games that actually has a definite release date on it.
that's true. Yeah,
October 17th. We know exactly when it's coming
that's the
out.
that's the only game I'll allow to be vague when they talk about whatever is happening. When they're showing what's happening in the game, like that's fine. That's expected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I probably wouldn't understand it anyways. Don't worry about it. I'm
Right,
still
right.
like iffy about Control. I'm like, I think I know what happened, but I'm not totally convinced. I
Yeah.
have a strong understanding.
Max Payne's in the game.
Why not? What? Why not? Everybody's there. He's just slow mowing, just taking a
Oh, dude.
dive. Like there he is.
Yeah, everybody can see it. He's a part of the control. He's actually using an object of power
Yeah.
when he's
Was
using
it
slow mo.
pills? Right?
Pills here.
It was his pills that did it. Hey, no,
Yeah.
no lie. Max Payne on the GBA is pretty fucking good, man. You should check it out. Uh,
All right.
I'm serious. It's an isometric top-down like
Oh
action game,
man,
and
okay.
it's got the slow
Yeah,
mo and everything. It's wild.
that's funny.
Um,
Cool.
I played a lot of bad GBA games. Anyways,
All right.
yeah, that's it.
Um,
I'm
that's
out of
it.
things to say.
That's our list of games that we were most anticipating or just interested in mostly talking about.
Yeah,
Um, if we didn't talk about a game you were interested in, let us know and tell us why you're excited about it.
yeah, and join the Discord. That's where we have the discourse about all this stuff. And
So
actually,
much
if it
discourse.
wasn't for our good friend Alec, friend of the show, if he didn't mention it, I wouldn't have even known that there was a PlayStation event. Um, so that was kind of cool. I
Okay.
saw his message and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta check it out. And I was very surprised to see Craven the Hunter, and I was like, whoa, and super
Yeah.
cool stuff.
That
So
was cool.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good event. And there's another one coming up. I don't remember the date. There will be another Sony event soon, so we'll have to talk about that
Really?
as
Oh
soon
my
as that's
god.
out.
Oh man. All
Yeah.
right.
It's
Like
at that time of year,
I'm
man.
not made of money, Sony. Settle down. Jeez.
Yeah.
PSVR 3. Here we go.
Oh God, no, too soon.
$1,000 right
Hey,
there.
if it's just the cardboard with the phone in it, Sure.
Dude,
That sounds
honestly,
more
I feel like
affordable.
that's good enough at this point. Just put a rubber band on it, slap it on my face, and just give me the controller. We're good. I mean, you could
Yeah.
literally connect your PS5 controller to your phone. It's not crazy. I'm not
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Anyways,
There you go.
all right,
All
man.
right.
So say goodbye to the
Thanks a
people,
lot.
and we'll catch y'all later.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, if you're
Hope you
still
like the show.
here, holy crap! Thanks for hanging out.
We love talking about stuff a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
All right.
See part two of our podcast where we talk more about Metal Gear 3
No,
and Dragon's Dogma.
don't. We could, dude. We could do it. You just let me know.
We
I
probably could.
I've got that dissertation saved
I'm
somewhere.
very excited for you to play Dragon's Dogma.
I'm very excited for you to play
Next
Metal
time we
Gear
play
3,
a game.
man. This could be hot.
Yeah, yeah.
All
It's gonna
right.
be great.
Okay. See everybody
Good
later.
night. Goodbye.
Bye.